Thanks for the lurk. Appreciate you.
shouting! All right, I am! I'm shouting, I'm shouting, I'm shouting!
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wait, where do I go? Where am I going? Hold on. Hold on. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. There. I remembered how to do it, you guys. Hi, everybody. We're EPs tonight because children kind of suck all the energy out of you when there's more than 20 of them and you have them all day long. At least for me. At least for me. I know there are people who get energized by that, especially if one of them learns a new skill and they're like, I can do this for the rest of my life. And I'm not one of those.
There's no need to shout. I'm not shouting. All right, I am.
Nikki!
I'm shouting.
Love that scene so much. Nikki, thank you so much for the reset 20 months. Look at us go. I love you. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let me say hi to everybody who came in. Loki's lurking, so I hope you're doing well. Hi, Ren. Hi, Alex. And thank you for the lurk for you too. Hi, Anime. Hi, Badger. It's good to see you. Jam, thank you for the 32 months. What the heck? That makes it look like my... that makes it look like I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary, and that makes me a little nervous. Makes me a little nervous. But yes, you should be on your stream. Polly, hi. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Anime says, I am so over substitute teaching. That's fair. I actually had to stop doing the junior high as one of my buildings. Probably. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Hello. RE4 1 week before Requiem releases? Dude, I still don't even have... I can't remember if I pre-ordered Requiem. I can't remember if I did. I know I got it. I know I got it. I'm pretty sure I ordered it, I think. Like, it's gonna be there, you know? It's gonna be there. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna play it as soon as it's out, just because, you know, everybody's gonna be playing it as soon as it's out, and, you know, need to be able to let the bugs fix, you know? 227 Requiem shall be in many homes. You're absolutely right, Nikki. And I need to learn the story anyway. It was mostly because the principal isn't disciplining them. And I would rather focus on my health or stressing over kids. Yeah, that's completely fair. That is completely fair. I will be honest. I do, just like in general, like as a general thing, I like kids. They're cool most of the time. And I can get along with them. And I am happy to learn that just because I've gotten a lot older doesn't mean I can't relate to the kids, or like, because there's still that gap, but because I'm online a lot and because I'm playing games a lot and stuff like that, I can still relate to them in a pretty reasonable way. Now, does that mean that I want to be there for the rest of my life? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Abso-fucking-lutely not. It just means I have the utmost respect for every single childhood educator that I have met, that I have encountered, that I know exists, because they're doing a really difficult job. You know, it's difficult to corral 20 to 30 small people in the same place and keep things interesting so they stay engaged, so that their distractions don't become physical issues. It's tough. It's tough to do. And they continue to do it year after year after year. And I'm like, hats off to you, is what I say to that. Now, I am currently in a classroom that is like a blend of a couple of grades, because the Montessori style of learning for students doesn't have the same, quite the same type of structure, even though they kind of do. So like I have a class of, right now it's 24 students, and they're all literally a mix of 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. Just like every other class for that grade level is a mix of 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. So a lot of times they're working on the same stuff. They're working on the same math. They're doing the same refreshes. They got the same projects for science and social studies or culture. Things like that. They've got a math project going on right now, and they've got biography. You know, it's Black History Month, so obviously they're doing a report on somebody who is notable in Black history. Well, in history, let's be honest. A couple of my friends are trying to play RE6, but one of them is sick. Oh, so the not sick one is playing RE7, trying to get through all the games before Requiem. Yeah, I already know. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that I'm going to be able to get through all the Resident Evil games by the time it comes out. And I will have fun watching people, or at least chatting with them and then lurking on them when they're playing the game. Fine by me. Totally fine by me. But like this year, especially, I still want to be able to play Faz at least once a week, if not more. But I know I have learned 3 times a week is really all I can swing. So today, tomorrow, Sunday, we'll be playing some games. I'll be playing Faz at least one of those days. We'll try to finish Resident Evil 4. Probably won't finish it. We'll probably have more next week. And that's okay. That's all right. I'm not upset about it. I have a lot of stuff to do off stream as well as on stream. But I eventually want to get into the Fallout series. You know, I want to play the Fallout games. And I have, what else do I have? I still have to finish the second playthrough of The Quarry, and then I have to finish The Devil in Me, so I've got the Dark Anthology done. Kind of probably sort of want to I lost it. Where was it? The Forest series. And let me just be upset about The Forest.
I'm not shouting. All right, I am. I'm shouting.
Arn, thank you so much for 22 months. You're so cool. I love your face. I hope you're doing well.
It's hot outside.
Oh, really? Really?
No.
It is not hot outside. I need to get something that's a little bit more in tune with winter for that one. I just realized that all of my lights are off. I'm over here like, I'm sure I'll be able to make it on time today. I'll be able to be on time. I'll start on time. And my fucking lights are off. And that, I'm gonna fix that. I hope. Let me see. Is this one? What's this button do? There we go. So there's one. Wow. Thank you for the hydrate. I mean, this is about as max my energy level is. Maybe, I mean, it could change if I get jump scared. When I get jump scared. When, because I know that's going to be happening. I will get jump scared. But look, you guys, look what one of the students gave me today. Oh,
Like a cupcake. Shut up.
Arn. also been Twitch money. Aren't thank you so much for gifting a sub to Spaxy. Look, you guys. Oh, no! Oh, it's good. It's okay. It didn't break. It didn't break. Look. It's a little duck. It's a little duck. Yay, thanks. Hi, Specs. Wowie, I did a thing. Aren't you? Are such a sweetheart. Look. One of the students gave me a little duck today, and I keep dropping it because I'm trying to, like, show it off, and that's just not working. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So I have a little duck. I just did my best DD from Dexter's Laboratory when you said, "What's this button do?" Yeah. 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 Dude, it's been a hot minute since I've thought about Dexter's Laboratory. That's so funny. I love that. I love that. How's Cass? Cass is tired, but Cass is good. Cass has stories about these kids, you guys. So I've been substituting for the same class since the 9th of February, and I have them through the rest of February. And they're a mix of 4th, 5th, and 6th grade because of the way they structure teaching. Bro, tell me about tired. I got maybe 10 minutes sleep. Oh, Muffin. Muffin, why are you not getting sleeps? Do you have insomnia? Are you sickies? Are you self-inflicting this pain because you're gaming and then have work? Like, tell what's going on? What's going on? Share with Mama Cass. What you got? What you got? I had to wear this hoodie to work today to prove to the kids that I had Disney merch because they didn't believe that I used to go at least once every year while we still lived near California. While we still lived in California. And they were like, "Oh, that is really cool. I like it a lot. Can you take me next time?" And I was like, "What do you mean next time? What do you mean next time? Do you know how far away we are?" Insomnia. Oh, Muffin, I'm so sorry. And then tried to sleep, but nope, brain said, "Ha ha ha." I know that feeling. Then my alarm went off just as I drifted off. Babes, I'm so sorry. Sleep. I had a dream this morning of waking up and going to play on my phone. Wow, that's rough, buddy. Nikki, I'm so sorry. That is rough. How are you gonna dream about waking up to doom scroll before you actually wake up and get a chance to doom scroll? Like that's kind of rude. That's kind of rude, actually. Like, my gosh. So these kids are okay. Like, in general, I was already informed about them because I accepted that assignment like just the week before. Like, it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and it was gonna start the following week, and I took it, and I got a phone call from the assistant principal. And I actually woke up and tried to figure out what just happened. Dude, then those dreams, like dreaming you get up and start your day, but no sleeping. And dude, those are so hard to get motivated to actually get the fuck up after you have them too. Like, for real. He called me and said, "Hey, I saw that you accepted this assignment." And I was like, wow, you must be watching this like a hawk because that was only just a couple hours ago. And he was like, "I just want to talk with you a little bit about making sure that you know, this is a multi-day thing, right?" Because apparently they'd had somebody accept the assignment and then drop out of it. I later met that person. At another school I was substituting at. And then got sick and couldn't finish my 3rd day, which sucked because I was actually having a good time with those kids. I was substituting for an English teacher, so I was fucking thrilled. And I was helping in the science class, and they were working on astronomy, and so I was stoked there too. But like by the end of the 2nd day, some kids were like, "Oh, it's just," and I'm supposed to be there to back up the teacher, and I didn't know if I was overstepping my bounds, but I sassed them right back. I was like, "I know what you were just doing. I was just watching you with both of my eyes, and I'm telling you, knock it off." "But yeah, but what about sit and do what your teacher tells you to." And it was kind of quiet because I guess the person I substitute for doesn't normally get that firm with the students or something. Because then the science teacher was like, "Damn, Miss Schaefer, do you want to stay here? Do you want to keep coming back?" And at the end of the day, she actually told me, she was like, "You were not taking anything from those kids," and I loved it. I was like, oh, thanks. Like, oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to take shit from kids. Like, I actually did tell one. They were 6th and 7th graders. One of them tried to be like, oh, what are you going to do about it? And I looked at them up and down and said, you talk a lot of mess for someone who can't even keep their shoes tied. Maybe you should sit this one out. And then he looked down and saw that both of his shoes were untied and just looking nasty. And he was like, and then sat down before anybody else tried to give him shit.
There's no need to shout. I'm not shouting.
Biggs!
All right, I am. I'm shouting. I'm shouting. I'm shouting.
Biggs! Aw, Biggs, I missed your twerks. I love you. How are you? Thank you so much for 20 months. What the heck? You guys, that means that there's already been 4 subs. 5. Wait, is this 5? This is 5. Is this 5? Wait, I think it is. We had Jam and Nikki and Arn, and then Arn gifted 1, and now Biggs resubbed. I have to eat a bean. Do we want a spicy bean or a gross bean? Spicy or gross? But yeah, so see, that's part of the reason why I like middle school and high school is because I can get sassy like that with them and still be, you know, within safe parameters of keeping my job. With like 4th and 5th graders, it's probably stretching it a little bit. Spicy bean? Okay, I do spicy bean. You see, I don't. This is the darker red one. I don't know what that means. So we're just gonna... Well, that's sriracha. That's sriracha. So it's not like super spicy, but it's got a nice kick to it. Okay. Funny thing for my nephews, one day they'd watched the anime Jujutsu Kaisen, and the 6-year-old said he was stronger than Gojo, one of the anime characters, when we all noticed his pants were on backwards. I have one student who doesn't care which way his shoes are on his feet. So very often his snow boots are on the wrong feet. And I'm like, my dude, are you good? And he's like, maybe I like it that way. But he's a student that has some learning disabilities. Like, he's just a little bit behind. There's nothing wrong with this kid's intellect. He just kind of struggles a little bit to get some concepts. So he's in small group instruction. But that sort of thing can... It's getting spicier. Especially since I had spicy noodles for dinner before we went live. We were all like, really trying to hold back the laughs. I would too. Because then they're gonna get offended, and you don't want to do that, and you don't want to kill their joy or their imagination. So yeah, but dude, you do be laughing on the inside, that's for sure. So he was like really unsure of me at first. He wasn't going to talk to me. He wasn't going to look at me or give me eye contact. He was just going to do his thing and get sassy if I was like, where are you going? I got this. Or he's looking off over there and I'm right here. I'm like, okay. But I also heard from some of the other teachers who are like, he can be a little bit challenging. He's really not a bad kid, but he's very standoffish when he first meets you. He doesn't know what he thinks. Well, I've apparently won him over because he has now spent the last 2 days showing me all the graphic novels he's been drawing and writing. Is he the best artist? No. Has he made multiple versions of Kirby to be both good and evil? Yes. Is it fully legible? Do I know what's going on? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Do I care? No. No. Don't even care, because now he's actually making eye contact with me.
I'm not shouting. All right, I am. I'm shouting.
I can't hear right now, but I love you more than all the stars in the sky, Mama. Shanna, thank you so much. I love you, and I love you. We were trying to put something in his pockets, but they were on his butt. Thank you for the I love you biddies, Shanna. Thank you, Vern. Hey.
Hello there.
Things I've seen Kirby the super tough pink puff do on Twitch. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, there's even one where he like just gloms on the streamer. But anyway, it's super cute. He's obviously got an active imagination, and it's adorable. Nobody dies in his graphic novels, but there's good and evil and bad guys and good guys, and the good guys win. And it's cute, but the fact that he wants to share them with me makes me excited. And you know, he'll look at me in the eye, and I'll be like, "Hey, Jakai, do you mind moving over this way or that way so that this doesn't happen?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, okay." Which apparently doesn't even happen with his normal teacher. So just like, okay. And now I have other teachers and the students asking if I can cover for this teacher again at the end of the school year, because apparently this teacher, who is out on paternity leave, by the way, first-time parent, his wife just had a baby, actually had it a week early, but he was taking the rest of the month off to, transition into a family of 3 instead of a family of 2. Excuse me. So he's really happy. And we've been doing our best to just not bother him so he can sleep when the baby sleeps, right? For those who don't know, Goju is one of the strongest characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay, I had a feeling, but I'm also not particularly well-versed in anime, so I appreciate the clarification. I have hiccups now from that spicy bean. And now my nose is stuffy. But... bro, the fact that I got scared, I'm like, where are these things coming from? And I'm not even playing a game. Blue, thank you for the Judy Blue. Also, you're streaming too, dude. What are you doing, man? So, like, all these kids are, they're pretty good kids. Nobody's the kind of person who's, like, trying to get into fights with anybody, which is awesome. It makes it easy. The downside is I have to go outside with them at recess. And it's cold outside. And the one day this week that I was like, oh, it's going to be above freezing, and it's just supposed to rain a little bit in the morning, I'll be fine with just a regular jacket. That was when it decided it was going to start snowing at 10 o'clock in the morning and continue for another 12 hours. So I'd have to go outside, didn't have a hat, didn't have gloves, had a fuzzy jacket on, which means it absorbed all the water, and it's actively snowing and blowing almost sideways, which means my hair and my jacket is just getting pelted with snow that's sticking to it, so I'm getting wet in the worst possible way. And clammy and cold. I had ice that I was shaking out of my hair twice, because at the end of the day, I stay outside for another 15 to 20 minutes, making sure everybody gets on the buses. And there's stairs, you guys. The curse that I have, where if the school is multiple stories, I will be on the top floor. Still true. Still true. The sheer number of stairs I have done in the last 2 weeks is insane. We're dealing with late winter, early spring weather. We've had both warm and cold. Yeah, we actually had most of the ice that was under all the other snow finally melted away, and then it snowed again, and then it froze again. So there's ice under the snow again, and I was like, motherfucker. But like, I'd be okay if it snowed another foot this weekend, because then we could get stuff shoveled at least, and our driveway wouldn't have any ice in it. Yesterday it was in the low 60s. Today when I went to work it was 39. Dude, I think we got close to hitting 39 twice this week, but it was before school was in session. And yeah, we haven't seen the 60s since early October. If that, I think maybe sooner. I think early October at least. Like I said, warm. That is warm. My gosh. I found out that the town we used to live in California is only just now getting winter weather. They've had 70-degree days. So about 20 to 22 Celsius all the way up until now. And that's a shitty winter even for them. Like, damn, it's normally significantly colder. But wow, that's crazy, Nikki. That's crazy. So yeah, we were and I found out when I got there that they had a bearded dragon for a pet. That's right. I am in charge of a class pet right now. A bearded dragon named Moonlight, who is stinking cool. I'm not going to say adorable because he's a bearded dragon. There's nothing cute about a real bearded dragon. They got spikes everywhere. They look badass. And I'm not even a huge reptile fan, you guys. But when I got there and the fridge in the room was not plugged in, so there was nothing in it. And I know that, animals eat on a daily basis. I panicked. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I contacted Dream Warrior because he's the only person I personally know who has a bearded dragon. And I was like, give me some tips. I'm dying. Because I didn't want to text the substitute that I didn't want to text the teacher I was substituting for because he and his wife just had a baby. They're busy, When I first heard of the beardies, I thought it had an actual beard, not the little jaw spikies. Oh my gosh, that's actually super cute. I like that. But everybody's like, can I hold Moonlight? And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, hello? And that's when I really noticed that it wasn't just a tank that had a light on, because I hadn't seen movement. So Dream was unfortunately busy and wasn't able to give me a whole lot of information. So I went to Google. And Google only gives so much information, right? Like it'll say it eats veggies and crickets. And so then I've got to start doing more specific searches, like what kind of vegetables, what kind of crickets? Do they have to be like alive? Like what is going on here? Because I mean, maybe reptiles are not my particular pet of choice, but that is officially on my watch now. I need to make sure that shit stays alive. You know what I mean? Like the amount of guilt that I would feel so fucking guilty. If he came back to school and is like, I'm so glad you took care of their kids. Why is my bearded dragon dead? And I'd be like, but I mean, who? My voice was starting to crack. Who doesn't warn someone that they will have a fully live being fully dependent on them while they're also subbing for students? Nothing in the notes. Nothing at all. Nothing about the fact that it even existed in the classroom. I was like, I can barely keep my mom's plants alive right now. Dude, I cannot keep plants alive to save my soul. Unless they're outside. If they're outside, I can keep them alive. If they're in my house, just set the funeral up right now. Just set it up right now. I will not be able to. I will not. It will not happen. Nope. So, I can finally feel my tongue because the sriracha bean finally wore off. Thank goodness. So I start looking up and it's like, it takes vegetables like these leafy greens. And I was like, okay, well, what else? The kid said, oh, we just get lettuce from the cafeteria. And I was like, oh, okay. And then one of the other teachers also has a lizard, and they eat crickets, so they bring extra for us too. I was like, okay. So then I gotta look, how often do they eat crickets? Well, they're alive. Okay. Are you guys going to be careful and make sure that these crickets do not come loose in the classroom? Because the last thing I want to deal with is a fucking chirper in my class that we cannot find. And they're kids. They're messy. They leave crumbs. This thing will be eating really well if they're in our class. So it will stay alive forever. For fucking ever. Mom and Dad went to Alaska this past summer for a week and a half. Aw. I did a bad job of keeping Mom's veggie garden alive. Oh, oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry, Nikki. I'm so sorry, Nikki. Yeah, my mom used to have a lot of plants. She had a really good green thumb. She's transferred it to my dad. And now they keep most of their plants outside, and they have those little bulb thingies that you can stick into the pot so that it kind of like self-waters over a certain period of time. My parents are currently in Alaska, and I'm trying to keep my mom's plants alive. Okay, that's funny. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. So then I was like, okay, he's taken care of. And then he had a long weekend, and we had a long weekend. He doesn't go home with anybody. So he was by himself in the school for 5 days before I came back and saw his bowl was scraped clean. And I panicked again and was like, fuck, we need to get him some food. So I'm doing more searches and I'm doing more Googles and checks. And I find out that the iceberg lettuce, that is the only lettuce they are getting, does nothing for this bearded dragon nutritionally. Not even enough water content, dude. My parents will be back until May. Oh, wow. They're gone for a hot minute. Also slept through a power outage while they were in Alaska. Didn't know about it until things started coming back on. My switch and room fan beeping out. Okay, you know what? To be fair, if you're sleeping through something like that and you're in it, like the season is right, so you're not losing a bunch of temperature or not getting like super, super hot, you're not going to notice. You're unconscious. You will sleep through that. You don't get like a beep warning or an explosion sound. If the power goes out, because the power's gone out. So I mean, like, that's fair. That's fair. They've been gone since September. Wow. Are they like working there? That's a really long time to be gone and like not have moved. To me. To me, that's what it feels like. So that's when I find out that the way they feed this poor animal is basically that he gets food once a week and just sort of deals with almost enough water for the rest of the week. And I was like, no wonder he doesn't do shit. No wonder he doesn't do shit. I was like, almost fell out of bed trying to make sure the sump pump wasn't doing anything stupid. Fair. That's fair. That's fair. Sort of working. Works to explain. Okay. I at least call my parents daily and figure out stuff. That's good. That's good. I've got, so the more I'm Googling, the more they're like, you need things, you know, a variety of vegetables, leafy greens, like kale, mustard greens, collard greens, turnip greens, things like that are leafy and have nutrient value. And, you know, add in some sweet potato and green beans, and bell peppers are great. You can give them fruit, but every so often, and that's all as a treat, right? Like, okay. So I went and bought chopped kale, and I bought a sweet potato because I was like, I could chop that up. That'll be easy. I bought green beans, and then I got some bell peppers, but they didn't get the bell peppers the way I wanted them because I wanted to have enough to make stuffed peppers this weekend and then have an extra pepper for moonlight, and they didn't do that. So I got to buy more peppers. All this happened at 6 a.m. Oh my God, Nikki, please. No, Nikki, no. I hate 6 a.m. and I got to get up earlier than that too. I am not a morning person. Girl, same. Also not a morning person. Not even a little bit. Oh, that's rough. That's rough. That's oof. Oh, just thinking about it is making my shoulders a little tense. Like I can picture how I would panic, so I'm like transposing that onto you the way you're describing this. So I found out basically that this poor thing has been fed all wrong its entire fucking life. Its entire fucking life. And it's 3. I was like, what the hell?
There.
Well, hello, Glitch. Thanks for the check-in. Hi, Mom. Hi, Ash. I'm going to be lurky because my roommate and I are going to dinner. You will have to tell me about your dinner. I want to see. Send me pictures. I love you. Thank you for lurking. Have a great night. Enjoy your dinner. I love you too. Hi, Glitch. Thanks for checking in. Hope you're doing all right. Happy Friday. I'm gossiping about the students that I've been substituting for. As soon as I walked in, I told them that I had a deal for them. I was like, if you guys do your job every day and you're paying attention, you're doing the shit right, you've got your assignments done, you help clean up the room at the end of the day, the next day, I will bring you a snack. Just finished dinner. Delicious barbecue ribs. Right on. I will some stuff happened today, so she offered to take me out. And who am I to say no? Fair. Well, if you're in a sharing mood, by the time you're in a food coma, I'm all ears. I'll love to hear about it. Okay, you go enjoy. Have a great time. I love your face. Love your face. And I've got something. My phone is like buzzing. My phone is buzzing, which is weird. Okay. Okay. It's just, whoa. Okay, yeah, dude, do I really have to answer this question all the fucking time? If I want my discount, just give it to me. Okay, I love you. I'll spill the tea to you later, perhaps on step. You got it. I got to streak first. Oh my gosh, Ash is streaking. Ash is streaking. So I went and bought everything and like chopped it up. I've got these small little containers. I bring them in the next morning. So I guess it was really just Thursday. It really was just yesterday. Just yesterday. I guess it was. I don't know. I posted a video in my Discord of how Moonlight, the bearded dragon, enjoyed the food I brought him. And then I was finally able to contact Dream, get in touch with Dream, because I had already tried to contact him, but he was super busy and wasn't able to answer. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And so I was like, no, I'll send you a video. Just let me know if I'm doing it right, because he's got a lot of experience with bearded dragons. So he let me know. It was like, okay, so the kale you got for him, it's almost too nutrient dense to be the main leafy green you give. Like, mix it with something else. Otherwise, if they give too many nutrients, they actually struggle to poop, and they can get a blockage that will kill them. And I was like, okay, so deadly constipation. That's great. Who'd have thought? I didn't know that was a thing. Did you know that bearded dragons could die from not being able to poop? That feels very extreme, and not like in a metal kind of way. You know what I mean? You know? Like, okay, so I got some mustard greens and brought them today. And then at the end of the day, I was putting extra in for the weekend, because yesterday afternoon we were able to get crickets from another teacher. And so everybody watched them just zip around. A lot of land animals can. Really? Poop releases a bunch of toxic material from the body. Okay, well, that's fair. But yeah, I wouldn't have thought that if they have too many nutrients in kale. So like, kale's good for them, but as long as it's not like that's the base and then you add other things on top of it, it's like sort of mid-ground. So you want something more like the collard greens or mustard greens as the more common leafy stuff, and then you can add some kale on top of it, and then like some chopped up green beans and chopped up sweet potatoes. This thing loves sweet potatoes. I'm watching him like crunch it on one side and then crunch it on the other to break it up before he swallowed. It was kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie, but also like I'm so glad to see, because that was the fastest And almost only time I had seen him actively move was when I was putting this new food into his bowl. Just like, wow. And I mean, it also broke my heart a little bit because I was like, this poor dude has literally just been slowly starving to get to death with malnourishment. Like, that just sucks so bad, you know? And I mean, I understand the point of having a class pet is to teach the children responsibility and understand what it means to take care of another creature, etc., etc. But if the adults in the room are also fucking it up, it's just all you're doing is prolonging its death and not in a very good way, you know? And it just made me feel so bad. At least you're making sure this little beardie's going to survive. Dude, I'm literally going to leave a gift card. Just a generic Visa gift card for the teacher to be like, listen, I know that this is what it is because everybody's like, class pet, we have everything we need, but trust me, you don't. Now this food is, you can get this pretty cheap. Here's something to get you started so that you don't have to worry about it since you just put out a bunch of money having a fucking baby. I'm going to leave like $25, more than enough. More than enough. So I left some extra for the weekend. And he slid down while he was watching me and like guarded his food bowl. He put one paw down in his food and then the other one was like watching me while he was keeping an eye on his food. That was really funny to watch. That was really funny to watch because his eyes, he's like, you know, Predator-esque where they go after crickets, right? Live things. I also learned that freeze-dried crickets are okay in a pinch, but they need the hydration from the live crickets, and also they get dumb if they don't get to hunt. So the live crickets are the best ones to make sure they're getting enough hydration with their protein, because also if they don't get enough hydration, and the only way you're giving them protein is with the freeze-dried stuff, that could cause a blockage, and then they could die. It reminds me of the Croods, where every fucking story ends with, and then they died. It's just, that's just how it was. So I was like, okay, if this poor thing does not make it, it will not be my fucking fault. It will not be my fucking fault. This thing is going to be fed well while I'm here. Because damn. Okay, so that's enough about that one. Because he's doing okay now. He's got food for the weekend. He's going to have crickets next week. I'm going to see what he thinks about the bell peppers on Monday or Tuesday. And just like crossing all my fingers and toes for moon, like, yeah, you know? And I found out from somebody else who like, yeah, that's how they feed all the lizards and the guinea pigs. And I was like, guinea pigs are slowly dying of malnutrition too? What the shit? And I feel like I want to send a message to the principal, like in an email, so that they've got something tangible to say. This program's great, except for the part where not even the adults are making sure that they're providing adequate food for these pets. So instead of making sure they're thriving, you're just delaying their death. But you're guaranteeing that it's going to happen. And that is something that you guys need to take into account. If you're going to teach the kids this responsibility, you guys have to set the example by treating them correctly. You know? Like, I'm sorry, guinea pigs get carrots and iceberg lettuce? That's not fucking enough. That's not fucking enough. Yeah, no, the school district I graduated from, the class pets from the middle school supplied the high school biology classes with their dissection supplies. Listen, like, if they die of natural causes, that's fine. But if they're dying from malnutrition with a misguided project of teaching kids responsibility, like, they even have live chickens, you guys. They've got like a little courtyard in the middle of the building, and they've got a fucking chicken coop. The entire time I've been there, one chicken has laid an egg. One. having, I mean, it's one thing if like the middle school kids, if the middle school kids are like, they've got class pets until, you know, the ripe old age of dead, and then they dissect the things in high school. That makes sense. But it's like, oh, they're short-lived. Like, bearded dragons are supposed to live for up to 10 years. At this point, I'm wondering if any of them are going to see 5. And the guinea pigs also should last pretty long. Like, they want to be like, oh, veggies? Oh, we have a salad bar in the school. It's like, yes, but you also just have that as a supplement to the food you feed the kids. So why do you think if it's a supplement for kids, it's going to be the whole smorgasbord for these animals? Did you not pay attention to what you were going to adopt? Like, and that's a failure on the adults. That's a failure on the adults. And so I really want to say, listen, I understand what you're doing with this program, but you're in the wrong spot with this program, man. You've got to either, you know, have PTA funds helping set aside so that you can get the actual things that are going to healthily feed and sustain these animals, to give the kids the full compass of instruction about responsibility and caring for another creature. Or what the fuck? You're gonna teach them how to design a cemetery for their pets? Like, that's the only next logical step at this point. So, but even though that's still, I consider that still fairly egregious. Like, I mean, I like animals and I like pets, and I do think that they need to be taken care of. But yes, I do still eat meat. But like, especially when it's staring at you in the face, like, that's still a fairly egregious issue, even though the school themselves and is a decent school. You know, they have enough aides and they have enough programs for the students who need extra instruction and do better in small groups or have learning disabilities or behavior issues. There's somebody on call and there's somebody able to get there right away if somebody's causing some issues. Yesterday, just before someone got to them, because because all adults still have to be careful about how they touch the kids, one of the kids threw a chair off the second floor balcony and it hit a student eating lunch. Glad I'm not going to be a part of how they're going to get sued, because I guarantee you that they're going to. Because fuck, what's a chair doing in a hallway where there's a way down? And if there's a way down, why is that where kids eat? Because they're the smaller kids. It was like a like kindergarten through second or third grade aged kid that got smacked by a falling chair from 12 feet up. Yikes. So I don't have anybody like that in my class, thankfully. Everybody's pretty chill on that front. But I have stepped in a couple times where some kids thought that they were going to get away with something because their teacher wasn't watching, but I was watching, and I have pulled the mom voice out. My kids were acting a little bit funky today, and I was warning them. I was like, I can use my mom voice if I need to. I guarantee you it has scared grown men into practically wetting themselves, and I've silenced entire school buses full of children. I promise you do not want to hear it. Because I'm being, you know, I'm being firm with them, but I haven't actually like hit darn near crash out mode, you know? These kids, this kid tried to look at me. Oh, hi, Neb. It's Cass. I know, right? Like, surprise of all surprises. It's crazy. How are you doing tonight? Happy Friday. These I just forgot what I was saying. Oh my goodness. I'm doing good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. We had, fuck. My kids are good. Oh, This kid thought it was a good idea to say, your mom voice doesn't scare me. And I looked straight at her and said, you haven't heard my mom voice, so you don't know if it's going to scare you or not. But I guarantee you, you will not like it. Because this is also a child who is told if, like, she will just come up to kids and say, I want to play with you. And then they'll be like, okay. Or sometimes they're like, no, thanks. We really just want to do our own thing because, you know, we're the ones who are friends. And then she'll go off and cry and then go call and then go complain. They wouldn't play with me. They wouldn't play with me. And I'm talking like full on bawling. Like, she's a sensitive kid. She is a sensitive kid. She had recess and then lunch, and then she came upstairs, and as we were going to specialist an hour later, can I go to the school counselor? Why do you need to go to the school counselor? Someone called me fat at lunch. That was an hour and a half ago. You need to go now? Like, those things stick with her. Or if she's not included 2 days in a row by this one person that she wants, well, they keep saying I'm clingy. And I was like, you got to be okay with entertaining yourself sometimes. Nobody owes you time to play with you. And that's okay. Sometimes they'll play with you. Sometimes you'll play with somebody else. And that's all right. But everything is the end of the world. So she just hasn't learned, like, she hasn't learned the appropriate way to outwardly express her emotions in a public setting. That's all that it really is. Like, she's a good kid, and yes, she's a sensitive kid. Things affect her very deeply, even if they're not actually very deep things. So she kind of has to learn how to process that in a healthier way, and how to show her emotions if she's feeling down or if she's feeling a little upset. But she thought that it was a good idea to be like, I'm not scared of your mom voice. I was like, you haven't heard it. I promise. You know, like, you can say that if you've heard it and you'll be like, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm like, okay, you're still going to listen. Like, what's going to happen? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? But if they haven't heard it, because when I said that, the kids around her were like, wow, Ham, that was a bad move. Like, that was a bad move. I'm like, guys, I don't need help. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, really. So I'm there for another week, and these are the kids that I did a small Valentine's party for, because I started to sub for them the week that everybody was doing Valentine's parties, and their teacher left a week early unexpectedly, so he didn't have a chance to set anything up for the kids, and I wasn't going to send anything home that Monday or Tuesday for them to bring stuff on a Thursday because they didn't have school on Friday. I was like, if I had gotten something like that as a parent, I would have been like, well, I guess it's a boring party then, because I'm not sending anything. Like, that's not enough time for parents to prepare for that, you know? It's just not enough to prepare for that. I've been talking long enough that ads are coming back up again. So I've been talking for an hour. I should probably wrap that up. That's probably a good idea. I think that's, yeah. You think? I think that's a good idea. We're going to have to get into the game anyway, eventually, if I'm ever going to make any kind of progression on this game, ever. Although, to be fair, I don't think I made much progression into it the first time I played. Let's be honest, I think I got to, like, the first step out of the tutorial. I think I just got to the first step out of the tutorial, like, oh, well, okay. We'll just make sure that, I mean, I'm probably slightly farther along, but not by much. Not by much. Not by much. At all. At all. At all. So, I'm there for another week. We want to do something. We want to plan something that gives the teacher who is actually their teacher a nice welcome back. I'm giving them a pajama day. And I've had to do enough lesson planning for this coming week that I know for a fact I could not be an elementary school teacher. Not full time. Nope. Could not do it. Could not do it at all. Okay, we're gonna pause that. We'll play that maybe later. We'll see.
There's no need to shout. I'm not shouting. All right, I am. I'm shouting. I'm shouting. I'm shouting.
Hi, Haruka. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the 2-month resub. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. Hang on. Is that? No, it's not. Okay, cool. We're cool. We're good. Okay. This is in a window. Why is it in a window? Okay. Maybe? Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Tell me it's gonna work. Sup? Hey, Spike. How's it going? Haruka, how are you doing tonight? It's good to see you. I want to start the game, but I also want you to completed challenges. Why? Hello? Gameplay? No. You come over here. Hey, I hope you and everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's doing well too. I just, it's gonna work. I hope so. Cause it's not showing up. Hang on. Game capture? Capture any full screen application. Oh. Yeah, this is a window. There we go. That's better. Okay, completed challenges. CP can be used to purchase items in the extra content shop via the bonuses menu. I think they got the point. Novice fighter, arts and crafts. An amateur appraiser. Oh, instead of gemstone, combine some items together. Perform a melee attack. Wow, talk about the gimme achievements, you guys. And I think they got a point. Perform a follow-up attack with a knife. Okay. CPU from completing challenges can be used to purchase items in the extra content shop. Yeah, you just said that. Oh, so there's the online store and the online store for Requiem. Okay. Bonuses? Hello? Extra. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's a lot. Why are there so many? Oh, there's so many. Obtain all weapons? I'm not gonna. Holy bananas. That's so many. Okay, let's just go back. What is the extra content shop?
No need to shout.
Ah! Who is that? What's going on?
I'm shouting.
I'm shouting. Spike, thank you so much for the 2-month resub. I appreciate you. I'm doing okay. Been dealing with a persistent headache since yesterday. Oh my gosh, I had one of those last week, Haruka. That's so rough. Top it off, my wife fell at work 2 weeks ago and is now dealing with hip and knee pain. Oh my gosh, please tell me you guys filed a workers' comp so that she can go to the doctor. Doesn't want to give her physical therapy for her back. I'm sorry, what? That's disrespectful, to say the least. Oh, I see what's going on. If I tab out, it windows it, which is why it doesn't count as a full screen application. Wow. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so I've made it to the Lakeside Settlement. Wait. This is the... Okay, this is where I need to be? Because it looks like... Yeah, this looks like this is the closest one. That's just rude, Haruka. After the president's daughter is kidnapped, U.S. agent Leon S. Kennedy follows eyewitness reports leading him to a small European village with the weight of that fateful night in Raccoon City. No, I wasn't done reading, you guys. I like reading the story. Wow. Okay, so I'm going into the fishing. I don't know. I think I'm by the lake. I don't know where I am. What? I'm not gonna know anything about this, you guys. This is gonna be really funny. And we're in an ad break too, so that's great. That's cool. I know things. I know things. We're gonna be fine. So it sounds, Haruka, like you've got a lot on your plate, and I'm sorry. And man, I have had those headaches, and they suck. And I hope so hard that it fades sooner rather than later. And I'm so sorry your wife is dealing with hip and knee pain. Because you know that if you fall at work, you have to fill out a workers comp file to make sure that something like that is taken care of. And if you end up not being able to do work, not being able to go to work, or you're going to the doctor to get that checked out, they've got to add to that file and show the report that says, hey, you need this or this or this. And if it's coming from a doctor, they shouldn't be able to argue against it like that. It's like, that's what you got to do. You do that. You do that. That's what it is. And the ad break's done. Okay, cool. So I have no idea where I am. I know that I'm by a lake, and there was some sort of building that sounds like something creepy is happening in it, which apparently is really just the premise and point of literally every step of the game. So that doesn't tell us much. It doesn't tell us much at all. So let's see what I can do here. I don't know. I will tell you guys right now, as an introvert who needs quiet alone time to recharge battery, I have struggled with having energy outside of work because I'm with the same 20 to 25 kids all day long. I get like a 20-minute break for lunch, which is not nearly enough. It's not enough for them either. And then I have a prep time, but because I'm here longer, and the teacher didn't leave anything for me for the entire time I'm here, I'm having to lesson plan and stuff. So I'm actually using that prep time to run all over the school and make copies and go get a stapler and be in the teacher's workroom and back and forth and back and forth. That's a lot of stairs, you guys. So I'm not getting that quiet, myself only locked away time to recharge either. So I'm kind of like, ugh. So I may end up ending early, but we'll make up for it tomorrow and Sunday. She's trekking through with the pain, but I don't like her straining herself. Yeah, I wouldn't either. She loves her kiddos and doesn't like to be out. Also fair. Completely fair. And like, she's a teacher, right, Haruka? Or even if she's like a teacher, but her official title is like a daycare provider or something. I know I'm making assumptions. She has special ed kids. Okay, so yeah. So not only is it incredibly difficult for teachers to have things set up in order to take a day off, but a lot of times the process doesn't guarantee that their spot's going to get filled, which causes a strain. And then, yeah, if she's got special ed kids, a lot of them really struggle with the lack of consistency if she is out and they have somebody new that they don't trust, especially this far into the school year. That's rough on a lot of fronts. I can see that, especially since I have a couple of kids who are a little bit behind the curve and need that extra help from special ed, that have just decided that I'm okay. They've just decided that I'm cool and they're okay with me being there. And I've been there for all last week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of last week, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, because we had a long weekend. So even with that long weekend, they've decided I'm okay. And I've been with them that long. You know, they're not going to be like that for like 1 or 2 days. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I am by the lake. Where's the map? Oh. I'm over here? Where's... Oh. Oh, that... Oh, I'm not supposed to crouch like that. Okay, you guys, I can't remember how to do the controls. I may get a duh look on my face a few times trying to figure this out. But I hear a beep, 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 which sounds like a fishing rod. Why does this look so... Oh, it's a key. I don't have a key. I hear a beep, so I know something's... That's not that faint, bro. There. Okay. No more trap. What is that noise, though? I'm scared. That's tomato soup? La marmita tomate. Okay, so yeah, because we're in Spain, right? Oh, no, no, no. Wait, I can't. Why? Come on. No, go back. That's a picture. Oh, hold on. Kiddo dyed their hair, and they finished, and I guess she did like a peekaboo under thing too, and she wants to show me because I think she wanted to do like that reverse shadow route like Billie Eilish used to do, or still does. I can't remember if she stopped doing that or not, but I want to play with the chemistry set. Why can't I play with the chemistry set? Wait, where? That's not... How do I... Where's the tutorial? Wait, I'm gonna do the tutorial? How do I get melee attacks, quick turns with Q? Okay. Weapon shortcuts by selecting the weapon in the items menu. Where's the items menu? Where's the items menu? Why is my nose stuffy? Saving an item storage at any typewriter via the storage menu. Map. If you have a treasure map, you'll also be able to see locations of hidden valuables. Okay, item crafting. Maintained by new crafting recipes. Blue request notes. Take on tasks. Okay, in the files menu. Where the fuck are these menus? Combining treasures. Okay, back. Back. Oh, okay, okay. A flagon. Hunter's Lodge basement key. Okay. Okay. Crafting. Oh, I can make ammo. Okay. Good. And then I cannot do shit all with anything else. Cool. Files. Charred picture frame. What's it say? Requests. Get rid of the blue medallions. But didn't I do that already? Yeah, I did. Okay. Judgment is nigh. Okay. Well, it doesn't tell me shit. It doesn't tell me shit. What about it? Oh, come on. Okay.
What's that noise?
Let's go directly to the noise. Said nobody ever. IRL. Oh, okay. Okay. I think. Just in case. Why is that book moving? Do you guys see that book moving? Do you guys see that book moving? That book is moving. Why is my nose so stuffy? It's uncomfortable. More gunpowder. Why are you moving? Why can't I pick you up? I can't touch the books, you guys. This game is shit. I can't touch the books. I can't touch the books. Can I make more? No, because I don't have resources. Okay, it's fine. Why do I keep hitting E instead of F? How does stomping on those help? I don't understand. Back into the fray. Oh wow, of course it's dark. Of course it's dark. Who's gonna jump into a dark hole? Well, it looks like it's us. Oh, cool. All right, so there's a ladder. Why couldn't we have just gone down the ladder? Why couldn't we have just gone down the ladder? Why? Why? These are gas cans, I'm assuming? I'm assuming? I can't go through the duffel bag? These look like oranges and shoes. I don't want to shoot this, right? Right? I don't. I feel like. All right. You know what? We're gonna walk up real close. But if anything, if there's any funny business, I'm going a little trigger happy. Trigger happy. Trigger happy. It's not the president's daughter.
That hurts, you know? Seemed like you really wanted to talk. How observant, senor. Now, say, you got a smoke? You know, those things will kill you. Oh, well, maybe just untie me then, huh? Joder, not this guy.
Wow.
Who are you?
Wow.
Hey, stop right there.
Hello? Don't stab me! Don't stab me! No! No, 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 no! No, no, no! No! Fuck that shit! Bitch! My voice cracked a little bit. Sorry. My voice cracked a little bit. What the? Next? Yes? I headed for the lake. No, I'll just go to this one. Okay. All right. Chapter 2. Start. Confirm? No. Back? Next? You guys, I don't know what I'm doing. So.
Sacrificial lamb, you will receive our most sacred body.
Ew.
It begins now.
Could we delay it just a little? Oh, hi, Arms. Do you have ringworm under your chin?
Fuck. Hey, stop it. Hey, Yankee. Got your name? Leon.
Yeah, biceps. I mean, Leon.
Quiet type, eh? I'm Luis Serra. Guess you, me, picked the wrong spot to vacation, eh? Hey, stop it. You move, I move. And I'm beat up enough as it is. I can see you're thinking.
Hi. Thanks, buddy.
Bet you've been in spots like this before, huh?
You talk a lot.
I guess. You're here looking for someone? One more guess. Maybe some missing senorita?
Young girl? Talk. Now.
All right. See. Heard chatter about moving a senorita.
Señorita.
Moving her.
Señorita.
Where?
Who knows? But later, saw some men dragging someone to the old church.
Mierda.
Hanging
That
with
means
you.
shit.
Not
That's all I know. Ow. What? What? Well, at least they're not very smart. Never trust somebody who wears an embellished leather jacket like that. They talk too much and they're not very helpful.
Hey, we're not done here!
Later, amigo.
Bitch had the keys. Or he's just like, hey, hey.
I took my gear.
Awesome. I got no shit, you guys. I got nothing.
Condor
Outgoing?
1 to Roost. I've located Baby Eagle. It sounds like she's being kept in some church.
Great. That's good news.
Is it
I heard
though?
it from this guy I met. Said his name is Luis Serra. There's something fishy about him. I need you to run a background check.
We'll call Condor 1. I'll see what I can find. In the meantime, make your way to that church.
No shit, really?
I'm probably due for confession anyway. Condor 1, out.
That's some James Bond level puns, you guys. James Bond coming at you hot. Although I appreciate the arms. Do appreciate the arms. Head for the fucking church. Great. I want my stuff. But I need to explore. That doesn't look healthy. Doesn't look healthy. Excuse me? Do I have to go through here? And I don't have anything. Great. I have herbs. That's going to help me if some crazy thing is going to come out. Look, a bear trap, you guys. It's our favorite. It's not our favorite. Okay. Well, this looks promising, doesn't it? I'm in a sewer. With a broken ladder. I hate the sound of that door closing behind me. It freaks me out. There's no way into that. Dude, there's a body right there. I'm gonna have to punch. How am I gonna kill it? I don't have... It didn't even let me keep the chain. What the fuck? That's rude. Blah. Do you think we can kick him in the head fast enough to hard enough to kill him? Oh. Okay. I don't trust that. Is it gonna is it gonna come after me if I turn away? Is it? I feel like it's gonna. I feel I feel nervous turning my back to that zombie. And all the wires here. Why am I not electrocuted yet, you guys? Should I stab him? Okay, he doesn't do anything. Kitchen knife, man. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Why do they do that? I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Okay. Okay. Let me just give it a quick pause. There we go. Okay. 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 I'm mad at this. I'm mad at this. That's what I am. I'm just mad at this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I can't even. All right, here we go. With a kitchen knife. With a kitchen knife. If you sneak behind an enemy when you have a knife, you can take them out in a single move without making any noise. Okay. Ugh. It worked. Great.
Hey, that's my gear.
Well, at least we know where it is. So I have to go this way to go around? Is that what I have to do? Yes? It looks like it. It looks like it. The rats could stop squeaking. I would be happy if the rats stopped squeaking. Aw, hell. Okay, parrying. If you have a knife, you can parry an attack with the space. When the prompt appears in the bottom right corner of the screen, you can successfully parry. Even if you press it before the prompt appears, time it right, the enemy will be staggered. Great. Okay, not quite what I'd intended, but I guess it works. So we're leaving the rats alone? Yes, yes. There's a bear trap. I don't like those, so... How many kitchen knives do I need, you guys? How many... Vault over. I want my stuff. Wow. Where the fuck am I? No, I don't want to be here. Vault over. I want to be over here, right? Oh, there's several. How am I supposed to get through there without... I don't want a fucking bear trap. I don't want to step in the bear traps. Okay. Okay, let's... Ew, it's so dirty. Ah, I got 1,000,000 pesetas. Stream issues? Are you having stream issues? Oh. Oh, we are having dropped frames. Yeah. Yeah, no, that looks like dropped frames. Hang on. I just want my stuff, you guys. Yeah, it looks like, I mean, I can't ever look at Twitch anymore because it makes the bitrate look in red constantly, but hey, we back? I don't know. All I know is it's still showing as I'm getting some dropped frames. It's still showing that I've got drop frames. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit. Like 1.5% dropped frames right now. It looks like it bounced back, but yeah, it was definitely a little laggy. I don't like that. But let's see if I'm doing this. Let's see. Okay. So I'm not that great at hand-to-hand combat, but you know. Is this where my stuff is? No. Maybe? Is this where my stuff is? How do I get to my stuff? Oh, over here? Press and hold F. Whatever it was looks fixed now. Stream is stuttering like crazy. Yeah, I was... Oh, wait. Wait. I'm just trying to go in here.
No good.
Come on! I want my stuff! How am I supposed to go run back over there? Like, what the shit? Aw, fuck you, bitch! Nope, I can't do that. Alright, cool. So I gotta run faster and this time not get stuck in a bear trap. Ah, come on. Come on! Speaking of hand-to-hand combat, would love to see Mike Tyson play VR boxing. That's... okay. I mean... why? Alright guys, ready? Here we go. We get to run back and see if we can get it this time. Run faster, Leon! Run faster, Leon! We can do it, Leon! Come on! Oh, look at me go. I even did a little thingy. Oh, thank goodness.
I'll be taking these back.
Yeah, you will. Oh, look at that. I can open the door now. I can open the door now. No, 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 no.
Over here, stranger.
Why does he gotta have a Cockney accent? What? We're in Spain. Why has he gotta be, oi, governor, spot a tea this way? Well, who does that? Who does that? Let's be honest. Oh, I just saw something involving Mike Tyson on TV. Right as you said you aren't that good at hand-to-hand combat, my brain crossed wires. Okay, that's fair. Because I was like, this feels like it came a little out of nowhere. And I need a little help connecting the dots. I didn't know if it was just something that really came out of the blue, or if I just really whiffed the connection. That's what it was. That's what it was. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's hope that everything still holds up pretty well on this. OBS says that it's doing okay. So let's see if it keeps coming in. Okay. So, apologies in advance if I start getting like a little too locked in. I don't jump scare me or something if I do, but I do have full resting bitch face, so if I'm not trying to be animated and make facial expressions, I will just end up looking blank because I'm tired. Your girl sleepy. Over here, stranger. Like, you didn't look like you have my best interests at heart. Oh, you're a traitor. Okay.
Let's do some business then, eh?
Get rid of the rats that have taken up at the factory. We don't know if they're carrying any diseases, but we'd rather not find out. Yeah, because rat plague is what we've got to worry about here. Okay. How are the requests coming along? Did you know that you can trade the spinels you receive as a reward for valuable goods that can't be bought otherwise? We've got loads of useful items, but I recommend you pick up a treasure map the most. These maps detail the locations of the cult's cherished hidden treasures. Took me and the lads a lot of time to find them. With these maps handy, you'll never be skint again. Sure, you may have to venture into some dangerous areas to get them, but you can handle that, right? Mikester, what's up, dude? Rifle ammo. I don't have a rifle yet, but that's cool. Let's do some business then, eh? Like, who... It's like they are trying and failing to make a Jack Sparrow. Like, I don't understand. And I don't understand. Okay, here, let's... All right.
Welcome.
Thanks. Wow, he did not. He literally just wanna buy a trinket. Wow. No, you guys. Trading with the merchant. Weapons and items can be bought or sold to the merchant using pesetas. Pesetas. You can also upgrade or repair your weapons and equipment. Great. Once you've completed a task received from a blue request note, you can claim the reward by talking to the merchant. Okay.
Good stuff, stranger.
Complete a request for the merchant. I got it. Cool.
I've
All
got
right.
something new for you.
Tune up. Oh.
A well-tuned weapon can make up for a lack of skill. Crossing your T's, dotting your I's. That's the way to be.
Reload speed, rate of fire. Oh, I can't do that. Ammo, rate of speed, rate of fire.
If you want a fighting chance out there, you best tune up your kit.
Yeah. There's only so much I can do. I can either do ammo capacity and reload speed, or I can boost power or rate of fire. Let's go ahead and boost
Try
power.
that on for size.
And then we'll work on reload speed and then ammo capacity. Key items that no longer serve a purpose
I'll
can be
buy
sold to
almost
the
anything.
merchant. Okay, so... Oh, sell?
Not
Okay.
bad.
Okay. How many kitchen knives do I have? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need that many,
Well.
but I will
can
keep the
certainly
combat
do
knife.
something with this.
Oh, I have hand grenades. I forgot about that. Green, yellow, mixed.
Your
First aid
valuables
spray.
won't do you
Ooh,
much
chicken.
good in the grave.
Yeah. Wait, okay, so let's... Ah, I went too far. Flagon. Velvet blue. Do I want to sell this? I probably want to sell this.
Not
Oh, it's for
bad.
selling only, so... Oh! Okay, so I can use one of my spinels that I got.
My back is killing me. Years haven't been kind to us.
Not much. About to head to bed. Only had 2 hours of sleep today after working third shift. Bro, that's fair. You see, because I have to get up early in the morning now for my job, and I hate it. And so I actually kind of want to be in bed already. I kind of want to already be in bed. But I'm so glad to see you. I'm glad you came in. Okay. There we go.
You've got a soft spot for treasure, eh?
Eh?
Yeah, that's the way.
Oh, okay. So I can
You'll
see.
get some bang for your buck. I guarantee it.
What case upgrade? Oh. Bolts? No, I don't need that at the moment. Okay, so tune up. I can do the reload speed.
There you
we
are.
go.
As you wished.
Now he sounds like Wesley. What the fuck? Dude, this guy, he sounds like he's trying to be Jack Sparrow, but
Molding a
also
weapon to
want to buy a
suit your
trinket.
specific
Like, what the
needs.
fuck?
It's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Anything else I can help you with?
Oh.
We like our herbs, we do. Heal a man, kill a man, they come back anytime.
Anytime. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna save then. We're gonna save the game. And we're gonna do here. Yes. Wow. Got a knife. Got a gun. Got ammo. Shotgun shells. Oh, the handgun ammo. Yep. Okay, we're good. We're good. Oh, no, I don't need to do that. Mixed herb? Mixed herb? Submachine gun ammo. Wow, okay, cool. I'm so glad I have that. I don't even have a submachine gun. It's fine. Okay. You're kind of loud. Yes, I get it. Your back hurts. Oh. I'm getting real tired of these things that I need to be able to open and I cannot. Like, what the fuck? Wait, there's something over there too? Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I don't think the treasure map was such a good idea because these things are just gonna taunt me. Is there... Oh, that's not it. Where am I going? How are the requests coming along? Blah, blah, blah. Pest control. I need to kill rats? Okay, yeah, I did that. What am I doing right now? Head for the church? Is that over here? Am I going the right way? Hang on. Is there another quest over here? No, that's just that one. I don't know. Ugh, okay. Alright. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
The hell am I?
I don't know! That's a problem! That's waving a little bit fiercely. Me either, Cass. I never know what I'm doing. Dude, I feel that so hard, Biggs. It's just rough, man. And I'm supposed to act like I got it all together in front of like 25 9 and 10-year-olds? Like, really? Oh, climb up. He climbs up so fast. It's very breezy through here, isn't it? Like, look at that. I feel like I should just go down this way. Just be like, let's just... I feel like I'm looking around and I feel like just what? Oh, he falls. Check him out. Okay. Where's that girl? There was a girl over there. Or something in a dress. I just blew that one up. It just blew up. Like, where am I going?
One down.
Yeah, just one. Just one. What happened to the other three that I killed? Huh? What happened? What happened to those? Oh, come on, really? Okay, so I hear her. Oh, there you are. Oh, reload faster, bitch. I knew she was there, god damn it. Yeah, come on, bitch. Okay, how? Hang on. Okay, and then wait, where's... Nice shooting, thanks. I remember one time when I went to visit a high school, a group of teens were saying how they didn't have life figured out for after high school, and they asked me, I just blankly stared at them and was like, you'll never figure it out. And bro, I'm 47 years old. I'm 47 years old. There's nothing. It's not. There's no, I don't know. Cast gangster with pistol sideways. I don't think I did that on purpose, you guys. I feel like... almost 3 times as much as a single green herb. Okay. Let's just... Oh, no. Get back here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Dude, she literally almost stabbed me through my neck. I know we go through this often, but you're 47? Yes, I'm 47. And, like, I should know what the fuck I'm doing. And yet... most of the time, I'm like...
he's just standing there, menacingly.
A little bit of everything. Where the fuck am I going? Why is it so windy? I will take that. I will take that. I can't take that. Ooh, first aid spray.
Hello there.
Ah! Thanks, Biggs. Appreciate it. So young you are. Okay, listen, Spike. You and I are part of the crew that these guys don't understand, okay? So we have to stick together. We don't. Flying by the seat of our pants usually. See? See? That's what I'm saying. Would have never guessed you 47. Well, I mean, this is a good camera, but it's not close enough to see the wrinkles that I have. Like, I don't have these going, but I'm getting the slight jowl part. I mean, at least I will when I lose more weight and I actually have a neck. But I mean, a jawline and then a neck instead of just a slope. But yeah, definitely right here. Definitely right here. And right here. I was so funny. When I was 39, I was a waitress, and my parents came in with my oldest who had just had a concert. I couldn't go. It was one of the very few times that I couldn't make one of her concerts because I was working. So they all, my family watched her for me so that she had support in the audience. And then they came to the restaurant where I worked in order to get dinner afterwards. And they sat in my table, in my section, of course. But at that point, the entire restaurant was my section because, unfortunately, I found this out later. I found this out after that night. The manager was mad because I was sleeping with somebody that she wanted to sleep with behind her husband's back. I mean, I knew that part already, but I didn't think too much of it because I was like, she's married. She's trying to have a child with her husband. She's not actually going to be like trying to get into somebody else's pants. But I mean, I found out later that she was, which was really gross. And it made me feel like I needed showers, extra showers. But anyway, that night, she knew I was by myself and the dinner rush hit. And I didn't have a partner because she was on a break. And instead of actually coming to help, she wanted to see if I would fail. She was willing to fuck with her own restaurant's bottom line because her family owned that shit to see if I could fuck up. I didn't. I actually had a great night that night. I went around, I had 14 tables, including my family's. And I was rushing around like a fucking whirling dervish, telling everyone, I'm terribly sorry if there's any kind of delay. I am by myself at the moment. We're a little bit short-staffed at the moment right now. That should get better later. I'll be doing my best to take care of you. I hope that you're able to, I hope you're able to work with me, right? But everybody that night was in a good mood. Thank fuck. Because you know not everybody is when they go out to eat. Especially, I think it was a Friday night. So the rush hit at like 6 o'clock. And my coworker was not supposed to show up for another hour. Like, ugh. The audacity of people to be mad at someone for sleeping with someone you wanted to sleep with while married to someone else. Like, seriously, like I was not married anymore. And I didn't make it public because I'm at work. It's nobody's fucking business what I'm doing in my personal life. I never mixed the two. I mean, I talk about my kids, but I didn't talk about the things I was doing, you know? It's not their fucking business. But she, I guess, watched him in a bit of a creepy, well, a lot of a creepy way. It became a whole thing after I got fired because I wouldn't tell her anything about my personal life and pointed out to her, you're not allowed to tell me and I'm not telling you shit. That's my private life. You don't deserve to know that. 3 weeks before Christmas. Well, I had 14 tables. The kitchen called me in and was like, why do all of these things have your name on it? They were trying to yell at me. I said, because I'm all by myself out there and everybody's getting fucking slammed. She wouldn't even take any. She was working the bar and there's tables up by the bar. She wasn't letting any of them come up there because she wanted to see me fail and then got pissed because I didn't. Every single person was like, we can see you are running around taking care of everybody. Thank you so much for helping us. The hostess was helping refill drinks and bring like sides of ranch or ketchup or whatever if they needed it. But I was handling everything else. The kitchen was like, why the fuck am I getting 14 orders with your name on it? I said, because I've got 14 fucking tables. That's why. And then they shut down. I was like, listen, I'm pacing them out as best as I can. But all of them are going to have my name on it because they all came in at the same time and they all want their fucking food. I'm letting them know it's going to take some time and they're all being really chill with it. But if you can knock it out as fast as you can, I will get it out to them and everybody will be happy. And they're like, all right, okay, let's do this. So that was like our pep talk. As I want to say like 8 tables left and then some more started coming in. That's when my partner, the person that was supposed to be working the floor with me, came back from lunch. She was like, why didn't you say anything? I said, with what time? When am I going to say anything? And it was after that shift that I found out she knew about it. She was watching. She wouldn't let somebody go back on early, and she didn't call anybody in because she wanted to see me fail. And I was like, you are stupid. But that night, my parents came in with my daughter, and I was like, what can I get for you guys? Do you need drinks? I know you want Diet Coke, right? Do you want this? What can I get for you? Do you want any appetizers to snack on? Because it's going to take a little minute. I'm explaining to my family. My mom looked me dead in the eye and said, don't make that face. You'll get wrinkles if you do. I looked straight at this woman. Mom. I literally did. I looked at her and said, Mom, I'm 39. I'm going to have wrinkles because I'm 39. And then she kind of went, oh. Like she forgot that she has someone almost 40, you know? And now you're going to do this. Hello. It was the funniest shit ever. She's literally like, don't make that face. You're going to get wrinkles. Like, I'm gonna have wrinkles because I'm 40. And then she acted as if I offended her because I reminded her that I was 40. And I was like, woman, it's a good thing you're already sitting down. So yeah, that was, I'm so glad I don't work there anymore. Okay, oh, is that something I could have shot? What is all of this? Do I just keep going this way or like... Oh, hello? Who was that? Where are you? Who threw an axe at me? This bitch called me a dog. I don't even know where she is. Where is she? That's what she said. Perro, right? That means dog, doesn't it? Is that what that means? I'm sorry, I didn't take Spanish in high school. I'll tell her to fuck right off for you. Like the woman in the game or my old manager? Because it turned out perro is bitch. Yes. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Got it. Yes. Because the old manager, well, the person that was supposed to be my partner on the floor to take the tables was also one of the people that was helping cover her ass so she could cheat on her husband. And then because I wouldn't tell her anything about my business, because I had text messages where she demanded to know. And I was like, that's not your business and you're not allowed to ask. Then I got fired the next day. 3 weeks before Christmas. So I went off and minded my own business. I got a new job. I was out. I think we were having Thai food for Aqua's birthday. And then all of a sudden my phone started blowing up. And first it was from the dude that I was sleeping with. And then I had stopped sleeping with him because he was sleeping with her and lying about it because, I mean, that's just gross. But you're putting my health at risk. So fuck off. So, of course, I mean, obviously it was a rebound dude because I could do better than a line cook, obviously. Let's be real. So... people are so nasty. They really are. They really are. I just got to finish this story. Well, it was right around then. So a couple weeks after Christmas, because Aqua's birthday is in the first half of January. We're out at Thai food, minding our own business, having a good time, laughing about memes on our phone, sharing them with Kidlit because she was just itty bitty at that point. We're enjoying our dinner because this particular restaurant is a great restaurant, and the wife of the person who owns it, she would like wait tables, but she knew me and she really liked me because my youngest was in a class with one of her sons, and so we would meet a little bit. So she was taking extra great care of us. So we were having a wonderful time. Then my phone started blowing up. So he was sending a message, well, you done fucked up now. You opened your mouth one too many times and now the shit's hitting the fan. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm busy having a birthday dinner with my family. What do you want? So then while he's giving me my 3 little dots because he's typing something up, then I got a text message saying, oh, you want to talk shit about my family? You better be careful because you have no idea who you're messing with. And I was like, who is this? Because it was a number I didn't have saved in my phone. It turned out it was my old manager because I deleted her number. And unfortunately, I didn't block her, which I should have done. She got caught. She got fucking caught fucking around on her husband, and they wanted to blame me. And I was like, who is this? She's like, you don't fucking know who this is. Don't you talk to me like that, you bitch. And I was like, oh, is this Alicia? She's like, you know fucking well it is. I was like, dude, I deleted your number. And trust, I don't give a fuck about your family because I am way too busy enjoying my own life. I don't think about you. And she got mad. She got so mad. She got pissed off because I told her she didn't matter. Because in my life, she did not matter. An ad break is not starting soon. I snoozed. You got 5 minutes. He, on the other hand, was like, you told so-and-so who told so-and-so that she was sleeping with somebody, and how could you do that? I was like, first of all, I didn't say shit. If you want to talk about mouths blabbing, first of all, she's got half the fucking restaurant knowing exactly what she's up to, helping her fuck you. So maybe you should look at all those other people that know who fucked up. Like, second of all, if you weren't fucking with a married woman who's half your age, yeah, that's right, she was 23. I'm 39, he was 35. She was 20 fucking 3 years old. I was like, if you weren't trying to stick your dick into every hole, especially the ones that aren't available, none of this would be happening. But you two are stupid enough to start fucking around, and then stupid enough to enlist all these other people as your besties to help hide it from her husband. That's a you problem, not a me problem. Because sure enough, I didn't tell people shit. I didn't need to. It wasn't my fucking business. I talked shit about how she made shit up in order to fire me because I was a damn good waitress. I was asked regularly if I was one of the daughters of the owner because I served them like it was my own personal restaurant. And I was like, I just want to keep my job. That was it. So, like, but when I do a job, even if it's one that I don't like, I do it really fucking well. I don't go 9,000 miles over the bare minimum or anything, but I do a really good job. I do a good job. So I'm a really good waitress. I can be a really good hostess. I've watched The Line. I've never actually done the cooking, but I probably, if I was able to do that, I probably would be pretty good at that too. I think it's how funny they're offended how they got caught. Right? And they didn't even get how they got caught correct. They're trying to blame me. I was like, sounds like your conscience is pricked because you fucked me over and expecting that I am like you and would retaliate. You fucked your own selves up, right? It was so funny. She ended up going off the rails. Her husband was ready to forgive her, and they would go to, and he's like, we can still work through this. I still love you. Let's go to therapy. We'll put the baby thing on hold because she couldn't have a baby on her own. So they were going through fertility treatments and shit like that. He's like, we'll put it on hold. We'll get back to us and be stronger. And she said, no, You who are building a really nice house for me and have a good job and own a business that makes almost as much money as my family's does, you're not as good as the line cook. She thought he was going to carry her off into the sunset. 2 months later, after finding out that I, in fact, was not the one talking shit, because I don't do that, he called me trying to hook up with me again. They were fighting on a daily basis in the fucking restaurant. She would be screaming at him. People were telling me it is like the worst thing. They're literally driving regulars away. The regulars that have been going to this restaurant for years don't want to be there because of how she's behaving. And then she started having these issues with, like, she's going to start drinking and she's going to be dancing on the fucking pool tables. She's going to scream fight where people can hear with her little fuck buddy. Her parents, who own the place, said, you need to get your shit together and go to therapy to fix whatever this shit is, or you're fired and you don't get to work here anymore. Their family restaurant, you guys. She got fucking fired from the family restaurant. She even had to move out of her house, and her ex-husband was still building the house for him to live in. So she didn't have anywhere to go. She fucked it all up. She eventually, like a year or two later, did end up going to therapy and then got her job back. But their main cook, who owned the restaurant and then sold it to them later, he's like, I just want to cook. I don't want to do the business shit. So he was the one in charge of the menu and everything, the specials and shit like that. He said, if you bring her back, she either works at the other location or she works when I do not work, because I will not work with that little bitch again. And that was a longtime family friend. Like, dude, she fucked up so hard. And I was just like, the actual drama. Every single person who worked there fucked up their relationship working there because they were all shitty influences on each other. There was one woman who had 3 children, was married to a nice man, made sure everybody knew that she had calmed down in her 30s. She found a good man who was very handsome, treated her well, treated all 3 of her girls, who were from 3 different men, as if they were her own. Even talked about having another baby with her. She decided that was not good enough. She needed to go out dancing at the bars with her bestie, the manager, and fuck around. So she lost that man. And then she got fucked over because none of those kids were his. She tried to sue him for child support. And he's like, what the fuck are you on? None of those kids are mine. Go after their fathers. She's really said life's too good. How do I fuck this up? I mean, really did. When the cook puts his foot down, is like, damn. No, he ended up getting fired too. He ended up getting fired too. Like, her dad, who owns the restaurant, walked the dude's last paycheck to his house and handed it to him personally on his day off and said, don't fucking come back. It was insane. I never went back to eat there. I was like, they don't deserve my money. I would eat at other places in this city, but I would not go to their restaurants. I was like, nope. I mean, I skipped a wrongful termination suit against them because I just didn't want to deal with that shit. But I had evidence. I had the receipts that showed that she lied about the reasons that she wanted to fire me, but they went along with it. And it's difficult to prove a wrongful termination in an at-will state, which is what most states are in this country. And at will employment means that either one of you can terminate the employment without sound reason, unless you can show there's discrimination. And I could, based on her getting pissed off literally the day before I got called in and fired because she was demanding information about my personal life and I wouldn't get it. And then it said, well, you drove home drunk one day. And I was like, what are you talking about? Well, that sort of thing can actually hurt our restaurant. I said, what are you talking about? I don't drive drunk. Well, you had drinks at the bar and then you drove home. And I was like, and she was serving me and knew that I was not drunk enough to get axed. So clearly I wasn't drunk. I was like, plus you don't have any evidence of that. Well, we have you on camera. What do you mean? You have me on camera having a few drinks and then you have me on camera going to my car and driving home. Do you have a police report? Do you have any kind of information that says that I was drunk? Did I get cut off? Am I on the video cameras that you yourselves have said you don't actually keep the recordings of showing that I was drunk? Because you don't. And they were like, and you know, you're just late all the time. I was like, I was late 3 times and I was still calling you to say, I think I'm going to be late. And that version of late was being here on time. So no, that's not actually true. We have timestamps to prove it. And then, you know, why didn't you come to the Christmas party? And I was like, I knew I wasn't welcome based on the text messages that she had sent me the day before. Oh, well, I try not to get involved in that. I'm like, yeah, you're helping cover for whatever it is that she's dealing with. And I don't want to deal with that. So, I mean, like, I wasn't upset that I wasn't having to deal with that shit anymore. But, like, they tried to blame me. And I was like, I have timestamps to prove that I was never late. Even when I thought I was going to be late, I was clocked in and ready to go on time. Just because you wanted me to be there 15 minutes early. Nope. I'm not doing anything off the clock for you. You don't have any actual record of me driving home drunk or being drunk, actually. And you can't fire somebody for something that they're doing like that when they're not clocked in. And you can't fire someone for not going to the Christmas party. What the shit? That's a voluntary thing. You're not paying me to be there. So yeah, I was like, I could have done it, but I was like, I do not want to have to deal with these people. They are dumb. They are dumb. Dumb. So yeah. Okay. I heard them throw something at me, but I can't see where anything is. And now we're done with ads. But like, I really need to play this during the daytime or something when I know things are going on. Wait. Oh, come on, seriously? Whoa. Where the fuck are you? Why does it sound... Okay, you know what, you guys? This is such a good story time. Honestly, I should just call this a just chatting stream because, like, what the fuck is this? I don't like the sound of the way the music changed. The music changed, which means some sort of boss fight is happening, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, you guys. It's like the drama at a Pizza Hut I used to work at. We would get all the drama in the late shift. Dude, like, I'm fully aware that it takes a special flavor of crazy to work in a restaurant, right? You know, the hospitality industry, being a food service worker, there's a lot of shit you gotta be like either okay with or be ready to deal with, you know? Because there is no such thing as a no drama place There's literally no place, none, anywhere that is drama free. And most people who work at a restaurant, and I'm not talking like fine cuisine where, you know, everybody's actually getting paid a living wage. I'm talking about the people who are still on food stamps and this is the only job they can get because they can't afford to go to school. But it should be able to pay something better than, I don't know, working at Walmart or something. Although nowadays working at Walmart's better than that. So like there's a level of special overall. So a lot of the people who typically work at places like that are desperate or dumb, but they're all very emotionally stunted. Either they're on their way to actually getting emotionally intelligent or they peaked in high school kind of shit. You know what I mean? And I did not peak in high school, but I was one of the desperate ones because brand new single parent in the middle of a divorce, you know, like that. It's really hard to get more desperate than that. Ooh, now I want a pizza. Pizza. You know what? Let's just change this to just chatting. Let's just change this to just chatting. We'll just do this. We'll just do this. I feel noob again. And oh, come on, there we go. And the yappy. There we go. Okay, that should work. Are we switched over now? Yeah, we're switched over now. That's good. Okay. So let's just this is going to be a little bit easier, and then we'll be able to actually get into real play mode tomorrow. I definitely want to know what the fuck is going on with this. And I've got to be here's the thing. I got to be willing to die, you guys. I got to be willing to fuck up and die. And I hate dying in these games. I hate it so much. But I also kind of want to see if I can just like because I figured out how to get Resident Evil and 1, 0, 2, and 3 to work. So they can run on my machine now. So I don't necessarily need to start with 4. But I also like, well, I've done at least one chapter. I feel like I should keep going. But just like overall, it's like, you guys, you want to go back to high school and crazy stupid drama, work at Walmart or Amazon. But that's the thing though, I don't, and nobody should want to go back to high school. Like if you peaked there, then you've got more problems than where you're going to be working. You know what I mean? But my son actually did work at Walmart for about a year. My son did work at Walmart in our town for about a year. We did not go to Amazon. He actually did okay, but they decided that some of his absences did not meet the criteria to be excused, even though he was a hard worker. He'd been there for a while. They'd offered him benefits. He was occasionally covering shifts, but he was also a very hard worker, and he had gotten very good reviews on like his evals and stuff. But then all of a sudden they got a new shift super or a new shift lead for something. And they decided, you've been absent, you've called out too many times in a 6-month period, so you're gonna get fired tonight. And he was like, what are you talking about? I've called out, yes, but they've been excused and several of them have even rolled off. Like, if I'm sick, I can't come into work. And they were like, no, yeah, I understand that. And we'll see what to do, but this is probably gonna be your last shift. We just need the bodies. If you need the fucking people, you should not be saying, work until you hit your 8 hours and then we're going to fire you. Like, that's literally what they said. And he was like, they said they're going to fire me. Like, you obviously should not be trying to fire anyone if you're saying, we need you to stay here because otherwise we will be short-staffed and we won't get everything done because you're our hardest worker. But this is the last time we're going to use you. So at lunch, I said, just walk the fuck out. They already said you're going to be gone. Just walk out. And he was like, you know what? You're right. And he did with another friend of his who was working the same job, just in a different department. They were helping stock and deal with pallets and stuff. One of their coworkers worked a shift and then they fired him, which is stupid. It is. But like, first of all, like, I highly doubt that they actually went up to him at the beginning of his shift and said, we're going to fire you after the end of your shift. And expect them to actually do the work? Like, hello? Are you ignorant or are you just dumb? Because ignorance implies an ability to learn. But this person was in their 40s who told him that. So I think they're just dumb. Like, you're literally shooting yourself in the foot over a couple of absences. Nah, I'm sorry, man. He's proven himself as a good, capable worker. About 6 months after that, they did actually call him back and ask if he would come back. But by then he was working at Home Depot because I was working at Home Depot. And we were like, this is okay as long as we don't think too much about where we're working. Like, I mean, it's shitty to expect someone to do a whole shift and then fire them. And it's even shittier to, like, tell them it's going to happen at the beginning of their shift and then be surprised if they don't work. Like, that was just the weirdest thing. The weirdest thing. The weirdest thing. I had Home Depot try to cut my hours to 12 hours a week from 25 while I was supposed to be covering for the full-time person because she damn near cut her entire hand off. Not kidding. This woman called herself a farmatarian. She raised chickens and turkeys to slaughter, and that was how she and her husband got their meat. Because she's like, I don't trust where, I want to be able to know where my meat comes from. Otherwise, I'll just eat vegetarian somewhere else if I don't know where it comes from. I'm like, okay, that's fair. That's fine. She got distracted or got jostled or something. And when she was working on, I don't know if she was grinding meat or something, but she ended up getting a cleaver to her dominant hand somehow, directly underneath her knuckles. Almost took off all of her fingers and did some permanent nerve damage when they were able to go stitch it back together. So she was out on medical because she couldn't move her hand, understandably. And she knew that she wasn't even going to be able to come back and do the work with, moving her hands because we were dealt with money a lot. Oh my God, it's a cast. Oh my God, it's a winter. How have you been? I always seem to always miss you. No, it turns out that it's been almost a month since my last stream. So I'm here. I'm doing okay. I'm kind of tired. So we switched to just chatting because I am not focusing on the game. I just keep yapping. Hi.
Hi.
How you feeling?
Very well.
I can't because, your head is in shadow. No, don't turn the light on. I'm streaming. So the lights are this way on purpose. Did you take a picture and send it to me?
Yeah, but I did, but it was when my hair was wet.
Oh, okay. So take another one and show me your... Okay. Oh, also, my son does work tomorrow, and he's asleep, so I should probably, start quieting down, because I don't want to make him feel like he's being disturbed when he's trying to sleep. And I'm doing okay, Winter. I'm tired. I'm substituting for a 4th and 5th grade mixed class. Love you too, Bibs. And it just takes a lot of energy. It takes all my energy out. Yeah, she did. And it was just like, they were like, we need you to cover for her. I was like, so I'm the only person doing this job. So I spent 3 months asking for more hours to be able to do everything that she was supposed to do. I was in there 25 hours a week at most, but I wasn't able to help with schedule changes and double check hours and adjust like break times and stuff. And I wasn't able to help with the schedule, and I wasn't able to verify vacation time, and I wasn't able to handle chargebacks. All I was doing was counting money, doing cashiers, rolling through cash, and dealing with the armored car personnel, because they weren't giving me enough hours to do everything else. I was also going off and buying stuff for the Homer pantry and things and, you know, like the inconsequential things that aren't actually part of my job, they wouldn't give me the hours. And then they cut my hours and then told me, oh, we're taking one of the cashiers and putting her in Janie's old position. I said, what about the person who's actually in the fucking department? I said, I've been trying to cover for her for 4 months now, and you're just giving her job to somebody else? Well, she's going to need to run through with you. I was like, I'm not training shit. They're like, what do you mean? I said, you violated company policy multiple times in this endeavor. First of all, you refuse to give me more hours, and you're trying to use that against me to say I'm not adequately covering for her. That's your fault, not mine. You didn't post the job for everybody to apply for it like you are supposed to do per company policy. You never interviewed for it. You never actually gave the person who's actually in the department a chance for the job, which you're supposed to do first. And then if they don't want it, then you put the job posting up for everybody else to apply for. Then you do interviews, and then you hire somebody. Well, you know, she used to work in the back, and I promised her that she'd come back. Oh, so now you're doing favors and you're discriminating against other people. That's not only against company policy, that's against the law. And then you cut my hours by over half in order to do this. No, we didn't. Yes, you did. No, we didn't. Yes, you did. Did you forget? I see the schedule too. Irene even wanted to train me for this, but you hired somebody else to do that too. You didn't listen to her. Oh, well, would you have taken the job if we offered it to you? I need the money. I'm a single parent that needs a job. I've got kids to take care of. Are you fucking kidding me? This was actually Home Depot, you guys. So just as bad, actually slightly worse, given that it's Home Depot, because things aren't as cheap at Walmart, right? So this is Home Depot. Like, seriously. The store manager looked me dead in the face and said, well, I thought you were going to school. Were you going to quit school for this job? I said, are you high? In front of 2 assistant managers and the HR person that got my training for that job. I said, are you high? I'm not going to quit school for this job, but I could have adjusted my schedule in a way that I could have done both, but you didn't give me that opportunity. You just decided to cut my hours. Well, we didn't cut your hours. I said, yes, you did. I said, you actually did. And you're expecting me to just roll over and be okay with it after you give my job to somebody else because you owe her? Quid pro quo is against the law, not just company policy. I said, you realize that especially since everybody else is here, you're putting your job on the line because you didn't want to follow policy. And he was like, well, I mean, we could get you more hours. I said, you cannot guarantee. I said, you can guarantee me more. He's like, well, what is it going to take? I said, you guarantee me hours. Well, I can't do that. Yes, the fuck you can. I said, you absolutely can guarantee me my hours, if not the hours that I have been consistently giving, especially with no backup, or you write it in. Well, I can't put it in. Yes, you can. You just don't want to, which means you are cutting my hours. Well, I mean, if you want more hours, you just have to be available. I said, no, if I want more hours, you have to schedule them. I cannot sit there as an adult human being who's also going to school an hour away with a family and just sit by the phone and see if maybe somebody might call out and I'll get those hours then. That is not guaranteeing that I have those hours. You do not pay enough for me to be on call like that because I'm going to have to say no. You want me to fail out of school or struggle with, or get kicked out of school because on my way, you're going to call me and I have to turn around and cover your 4-hour shift? instead of driving an hour to school. So I'm going to get kicked out of the class. Are you going to pay my tuition? Well, no, that's just unreasonable. So is what you're offering. I said, so you can consider this me quitting. You gave me no notice that I couldn't have my job that I've had for 2 fucking years. I don't need to give you any notice that I'm not going to be here anymore. And the only other time I went into that store was when I was working with Irene. She fudged the paperwork by like 2 weeks, so I got my 2 years worth of vacation pay that I had not used as remainder pay on my last paycheck. Yeah, fuck them bitches, like for real. So actually not too long after that, that store manager got fired. Well, demoted and transferred. Because that was found out. And there were a lot of other issues where he was doing a lot of tit for tat, you know, that quid pro quo that is illegal for a reason. He was not sleeping with the girl. The girl was old enough to be his mother. And he was not sleeping with her. But it was like, it's not my problem that you're making promises you are legally not allowed to keep. It is your problem. So eventually the assistant managers reported him to their area manager, and he got demoted, and he got dropped to a shitty store. And one of the assistant managers got promoted. And by the time we moved away, because just before we moved, I did have to go back to Home Depot to get some things for the move and stuff. And I ran into people that I used to work for. They were like, oh my God, you would not believe the shit that has been going on the last 2 years. She's like, Steve got fired and now Amber's in charge, and it's so much better. Everybody actually talks to everybody, and these managers will actually pay attention to the schedule that you want and work around it. And nobody, you know, like everybody's like, people are actually getting the schedules that they want. People are getting the hours that they want. They're hiring more people to cover the hours that aren't getting covered, while making sure they know right away that the Home Depot bullshit was like, full-time positions open. They are, but they do not hire full-time ever. When they hire you, it is part-time only. And you might eventually get moved up to full-time. But they also say, the metrics say I can't make you full-time, but expect you to work full-time hours, so you're not eligible for benefits because you're still listed as a part-time employee. So he was cooking the books that way by claiming he couldn't designate anybody full-time, so they couldn't get benefits and the vacation time and everything associated with it, because they'd have too many people on the roster. And I was like, you are full of actual shit so bad, I can smell it from my house. That's happening at my hubby's work. It's so much more. That's awful. They've been through 4 store managers in the last 2 years. Oh my God, that's awful. And it's so bad. The morale is so bad. I could only imagine 4 managers in 2 years. That's horrific. That's awesome. A good manager can make all the difference. Yeah, for everybody who stayed there, I'm really happy to hear that. Like, really happy to hear that. But I was so glad that I was not dealing with that. I was so glad I was not dealing with that. I ended up, like, I mean, obviously, I lost my grandmother, and that really sucked. But it also made sure that I could go to work. I could go to school without having to go to work and make sure everything was paid. So I was able to go to school. I had a great time, met some of my best friends. We were all just having a conversation the other day, and we were doing voice notes to each other, spilling tea about like some of the friends in the master's program, and some calls the labor union on that Home Depot. You wish, but remember, Home Depot is one of those companies that doesn't have unions, so they can't do anything about it. They're like Amazon, where they lobby against it, because there's technically no laws against lobbying against it, but they will spend way more money to convince you. It's in their training about how bad unions are. Because they don't want to pay people a living wage. They want the bootlickers and they donate to Trump. So, enough said. Now that we're up here, I shop at Menards because they are not Home Depot. Same at Walmart. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Like they could and make it an actually really decent place to work. Same thing at Little Caesars. It's the same thing at most major corporations. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, it's just, it's so frustrating to have to deal with or to even just see that it's happening. It's the fact that there are so many people who are willing to strip dignity from other people is just, that's what it is. It's just like every major corporation. If you say the U word, you get fired or busted out. Exactly. I mean, they will find a way to retaliate without making it legal retaliation, so you don't actually have a word to stand on. You don't have anything to use against them in court to sue them for wrongful termination. But they will create documentation for something like that if they're really that hardcore about it. But it's just, that is also why, are unions perfect? No. But they are the reason that a 40-hour work week exists. Not me thinking uterus. The way things are going, that's probably a U word though, Biggs. So you're probably not wrong. That was good. That was good. So yeah, it was dude, I don't even know how to describe it. Amazon had a flyer given out about know what could happen if the company went to the union. Made it seem like it's a horrible path for everyone. I know. It's a horrible path. It's not even that horrible of a path for them. It's not even a horrible path for the C-suite. They just want to be able to take further advantage of the workers that are keeping them in the fucking C-suite, which is really depressing. And still, Walmart fires you for productivity, and then they fire you if you're not productive. It's like the most ridiculous thing ever. But like, that is why I will always, if I am in a place that gives me an opportunity to be unionized, I will fucking take it. Every fucking time. Now, right now, my job is protected by a union bargaining unit, but I'm not part of the union itself. And I'm a little bit upset about that, but I would like to be. But I'm still considered a state employee, so there are a lot of benefits I get and protections I have for being that, because their umbrella still protects my job, which is great, at least. So they actually, here up in Minnesota, this was kind of cool. And yes, it costs me like $3 every 2 weeks at the most, okay? They just introduced what's essentially a state-run guaranteed paid time off program for state employees. So what happens is, at the beginning of January, we started taking 1% of our paycheck. So if we had $100, $1. I mean, I'm not even sure if it's a whole 1% at this point. But if we got $100 that week, we pay $1. That paycheck, we pay $1. And that goes into a pool to pay for people's time off. So everybody has the opportunity to get paid time off. And to me, that's worth it. I'll pay $5 or $10 a paycheck to make sure that if I need to take time off, I'll get paid for it. Or somebody else over there, if they used all their vacation but they have an emergency, that they get paid while they're taking care of that shit. You know, I find that to be a very good program, and I am okay with that. I don't consider that theft, because honestly, They voted on it and said yes. So it's not, nobody's stealing anything from me. But it passed, and so that is something they're doing here in Minnesota. In fact, a very similar thing for healthcare originated here in Minnesota too. So I appreciate that type of. I mean, I don't even want to call it progressive thinking, but because it's not that taking care of the people that work for you so that they will continue to work for you, so you don't have a turnover rate and you get to keep the experienced people. I don't consider that to be a progressive view. I see that as matching why the rest of the world is happier. You know what I mean? You know? Or at least less stressed about those sorts of things. Like, they have other stressors and stuff that make living there either good or bad or whatever. But those basic things that workers in general in America still don't have, that shocks the rest of the developed world. Like, but you guys are richer than us. How do you not have that? You know, like that kind of, what? Like, when we finally get things, if I'm in a place where I finally get stuff like that, I don't consider it a progressive view, even though Americanism wise, it's considered progressive to take care of your people, to make sure that you will still have a business that is running. Wild. Dang, so no more working for the big names. I mean, obviously we can't choose like that. We take what we can get, because there are, it's like saying you're going to do everything you can to avoid AI. You can't anymore. It's literally fucking everywhere. Unless you live in a hole and don't do anything, you will be contributing in some fashion. Not intentionally, especially if you think AI is bullshit, just like I do. But I can still find reasonable uses for it as a tool, but people don't use it that way, and they're using it poorly. So lately I've been looking into moving abroad and seeing the differences between US labor policy and the rest of the world is so crazy. Yes, it is. It actually is, which is why I want to finish my education. Well, get to a point in my education where I feel comfortable enough to be able to get something that would let me live and live comfortably and prepare for retirement in an effective way. If I could move overseas, I'll do it in a heartbeat. I'll pack every single one of my fucking kids up and be like, let's go, bitches, we're moving. And I will support them until they can get a job themselves in those places. I was talking to one of my friends who is Danish. No, sorry, she's not Danish. She's Dutch. She's from the Netherlands. Dutch was her first language. German was her second language. English was her third language. And she speaks it better than most people who were born here. You want to keep your good employees, take care of your employees. They will give back and not leave or skip out. Precisely. But they don't treat it that way. They act as if taking care of employees and making sure that they are comfortable, happy, and thriving is like stealing from them. Like, I don't understand that. So, which is probably why I'll never be a rich person unless I just happen to win the lottery, because I refuse, I cannot fathom being okay with treating people like shit or in order to make more money. I can't do that. I don't see the point of that. I don't see the benefit. And I'm sure a lot of people would consider me pretty naive for that way of thinking. I don't give a fuck. I know that I will be able to go to bed comfortably every night, and I will sleep well knowing that I didn't fuck anybody over into poverty or make them have to choose between food and electricity, or I won't have to make them basically resign themselves to an early death because they can't afford to go to the doctor over something, but they still have to keep a job so that they don't become homeless in a paycheck. Like, those are, I can't. So, in case you wondered what side of everything I'm on, now you know. But I mean, she was talking to me, and we were talking about how I would just love to move back over. I would love to move overseas, but I am limited because there are some languages that I don't speak. Like I was like, I can't move to Denmark and start trying to teach community college or like lower college classes because I don't speak Danish. She turned around and looked me dead in the eye and said, you don't need to. Most of the universities teach in English anyway. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? We've had so many US peeps moving to New Zealand. See, I would move to New Zealand or Australia, but that's the thing. I want at least one master's. I'm aiming for 2 before I hit 55. But that includes an additional bachelor's degree as well, with the path that I want to take. And once I have those, and I know that at least like in Australia, for example, specs, because I don't know if New Zealand has a similar process, because I don't know enough about trying to migrate there, right? But I know in Australia, if you want to migrate, if you want to move like permanently there, you have to, for your visa and stuff, in order to get approved, you have to show that you already have a job lined up and that it will keep you solvent, basically. So I want to make sure that I have the best possible chance at the type of job that I know I could do and do well. And I need that education for that. To be honest, it'd be cheaper in another country because damn, the states rip you off. They really do. They do. But I mean, like, I want to be able to say I can contribute to society and I won't be a drain on public assistance. I've looked into Spain and Portugal and pull a reverse colonization, right, Biggs? Right? Like I was looking at the UK because I do have some heritage there, especially in Scotland. And I have a friend in Wales that I've known for like 25 years. Beautiful, absolutely wonderful human. I love her so much. She said, you need to move to Wales because you have guaranteed vacation, guaranteed pension, good health care that is available to you. And our flag has a dragon. Our flag has a dragon, you guys. And I was like, honestly, that's a pretty good incentive just alone. You want to have a flag that's got a dragon on it? Like, seriously? You had me a dragon. Right, Haruka? Right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. My wife was at one point like, babe, we're leaving. She's fed up with how Texas and her district were doing things. Dude, I've got beef. I've got serious beef with the Texas education system. I absolutely understand exactly how you feel. Scotland's national animal is the unicorn. Like, for real? Like the same way that North Dakota's state tree is a telephone pole and the state bird's a mosquito? Or like actually? Because like mascot versus national, and like I need to know these specifics. It's been fun seeing all their TikToks being like, OMG, New Zealand people are so lucky. And people talking about how people just say hi randomly and walking around barefoot. It's actually a national animal. Okay. It's not like the mascot because unicorns are not real. I'm just checking. I actually kind of wonder if I could, through genealogy, qualify for scholarship, for citizenship with Scotland, because indirectly, I'm related to Robert the Bruce. You know, the guy who betrayed William Wallace and his father died of leprosy, and then he turned around and actually became a really decent king. That guy. In his court, a third cousin of his named Lady Beckwith is my ancestor. So I don't know. I was like, how far back do you have to go to show Scottish blood before you might actually allow citizenship? Because if I could teach there, I would be like, yeah.
It's hot outside. Have you been drinking water?
Hi, Mihi.
No? What are you, out of your mind? We're like 60% water and 40% 100% human, so it's only logical to drink water. Drink my water. Just because you're not thirsty doesn't mean that you don't need it. Gotta drink water.
Mama Cass, I missed you, Mihi. You're such a sweetheart. When did you change your name color?
Drink water. Drink my water right now. You got this.
Thank you so much. No, they are the actual and national animal. I kind of love that though. From what I know, an old Scottish king did it as a big middle finger to the English and said it can kill the English lion. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. That's so cute. What, mosquito? Yeah, Haruka, North Dakota is very flat and very tundra-like. So there's not a lot going on there. So they joke that the most common things you're going to find in there, the state tree is the telephone pole, the state bird is the mosquito, just because you see those more than you see other things in a lot of places. So that's just, they're kind of dumb. But I've lived in Texas 3 different times, Haruka. I've been a student. I've been a parent of students. I know exactly what you're talking about. You don't even have to say it. I know what your wife means. I know what your wife means. And I don't blame you. I do not blame you at all. I'm in shape the same way a rhino is just a fat unicorn. Yeah, but see, they're also vicious and brutal. And their horns are highly prized, so you're extra special. So, I mean, being a rhino sounds pretty good. Let me take another drink. Mama Cass, I missed you, Mihi. Thank you so much. I missed you too. A couple days ago, I did it because Silver kept ignoring me. What do you mean? Everyone wants a bit of Specs. Wow, Specs. Wow. Although that was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty funny. I need to pee. So I'm going to go over there and go to the bathroom real quick, and then I will be right back. Does this mean we can illegally hunt you for... No, he's giving consent. He's got to give consent. Consent is sexy. I will be right back. No. Okay, but seriously though? Oh, wait, hold on. I did that one was working with both. Hold on. The remote was working on both of them instead of just one of them. Hold on. Hi, Hans. There we go. Hi, Hans. Camera's not like, no, it was I hate it here. Hold on. I'll be right back, Hans. I'll be right back. I'll yell. How is your stream? How are you doing? Welcome in, Raiders. I'm weird. Let's just leave it there. Anyway, hi. I'm in hobo mode right now. Let me get my earbuds in. I didn't even get a proper jump scare from whatever song came on. Hans, thank you so much for the raid. How are you, darling? I'm weird. I am! This is the only reason that I'm actually, like, liked at schools, honestly, let's be real. Hans, how was Faz? How was Faz for you tonight, love? How's it going? Thank you so much for the raid. Just pay at the front page of OnlyFans, not promoting, just saying. Stop. Stop. Hans raid, you are so cute. This chair stream. Yeah, sorry. I just really had to pee. But I'm better now. Corey, welcome in. Hans, how are you doing? Shundwall, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Stream was good. How is you? Tired girl, long week with the new job. New job? New job? Do you have a new job? How's the what are you doing? What are you doing? What you doing? But also I feel the long week. I'm substituting for one class through the end of the month that I've been subbing for since last week. And I need to still make 25 more of these. This is not a dick. It's a worry worm. It's a little fidget. It's crocheted. They'll be able to put little googly eyes on them. And it's like a little fidget. And these are their school colors. So they're all going to get these on pajama day, the last day that I'm subbing with them. Sees people getting new jobs and cries and texts, and I do. I'm the assistant track supervisor with a different railroad. Bro, railroad jobs are difficult. My hat is off to you. A quiet fidget toy. Exactly. It's springy, so they can, they can stretch it and squish it, but it's also made of really soft yarn, so they can just like rub on it. They can love on it. The immediate, this is not a dick, killed me. Listen, okay? I know where I am. I know where I am. Clarifying is helpful. Everything you said can apply to peens too. They just say, surprise. I know. That's why I'm okay, let's be real. If your peen is springy, then you might need to see a doctor for that. Let's just put that out there right now. Yep, 12 years doing it. Not used to being a manager, though. Oh, I've been all up and down Florida this week. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy is correct. Anything to do with Florida is Lord have mercy. Or I can go really old school showing my age and do the Uncle Jesse, have mercy. All peens have a bit of a spring back, have you not? Okay, it's one thing for them to jerk up a little bit when they're hard, but full springiness is not in the repertoire. If you have actual springy dick, you either ate a devil fruit from One Piece, and I'm concerned, or you have a medical condition that you need to see a doctor for, okay? What did I come into? I don't even know, Hans. I kind of feel like you brought this with you. Anyway, you guys, for those of you who are here, if you don't know Hans, show him some love. He is a great Phasmo player. He has a really good time. He's got a beautiful cat. And on Saturdays, he teams up with another friend, Thumper76, and they read spicy content together. You know, you're right. It's true. Bruh, they can wrap it around their wrist like a watch. Who can wrap their peen around their wrist like a fucking watch? Just not an American doctor, because that will be expensive. That's true. That's fair. That's fair. Josh? Like, I don't, the puppetry of the penis. Oh, Hans, by the way, the small humans who are left whole. No! It's a stage show. Oh, that's awful. Don't ask how I know. I will respect your request, Shund. I'm not lying. Specs, I didn't say you were, and I still find that fairly disturbing, but also in an intriguing way. Okay, so those of you who are here, show Hans some love. Drop him a follow so you can see him next time. And if you do like spicy content, as far as smut, I'm talking about books, okay? He and Thumper do like spicy Saturdays. they do spicy Saturdays where they will read. They'll basically do an audio version of a spicy book. And Valhalla Gaming, hello, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Now I'll tell you, I have a child who's whole and it makes my peen hurt and I don't even have one. Learning a lot right now about peens. I'm allergic to peen. I'm not. We might read Lights Out soon and possibly Ravenhood. Listen, I got okay, so my Kindle app is on my phone. And I use Kindle Unlimited to get the Hades and Persephone saga series that you were talking about. And I've read the first book. And it was so much better than the Christmas smut I read. The He Sees You When You're Sleeping and He Knows When You're Awake. The He Sees You When You're Sleeping was absolute, like, it was like a 4 out of 10. It was like, really? This is all you got? But the He Knows When You're Awake was done much better. The sex scenes were great. I'm doing okay. I'm glad to hear it. Happy Friday, Valhalla. We're just chit-chatting. We're just chit-chatting. I was trying to play Resident Evil 4, but then I didn't because I wanted to keep talking. I just wanted to keep talking. Y'all need to get on that crazy Amish smut that checks out real well at my job. You know what? You're going to have to give me some recommendations. Because in my Kindle Unlimited, I found another series about a goddess who was caged to hide her power, and she had 4 mates. It was this whole reverse harem thing. This 4 of the most powerful immortals in the world end up mating to her because of a prophecy, and then she's got to kill the Olympian gods. And they're supposed to live happily ever after. And then there's like, she gets kidnapped by some of the gods because they want to use her before she knows how to use all of her powers. And then she's got to figure out her lineage because she's got powers that have been extinct for millennia. And it's a whole weird thing. But the writing is so trash. Like, she calls all of her men males and my mates. And I was just like, can't you just call them your men? And they have some of the worst lines when they're like getting ready to fuck her. Honestly. Do they churn a lot of butter? Got talked into uploading my music last night to YouTube, so I'm uploading more, hoping to get some people to listen to it and tell me what they think. Right on. Right on. But have you read Stuffed and the sequel? I don't know. But does that have anything to do with marshmallow peeps? Or balloon animals? Because I have read those. I took one for the team for my quartet of besties. We're all English majors. No, it's about a pillow. Oh, so there's a different one. I haven't heard that one. So you're gonna have to give me more of that one too. Let's see. Trim butter and show off their wrists and ankles like no tomorrow. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, my Lanta. Okay, so Hades and Persephone started out really good. I'm a little bit bummed that the second book sounds like it's basically the same story as the first book, only from Hades' perspective instead of Persephone's. So, like, I appreciate the perspective. Feeling a little bit Twilight hit right now, but I do kind of want to see his viewpoint of things. And, like, the weird thing about, like, the goddesses and gods having horns if they're not glamored is really weird, but that's not anything. That was the author fully taking liberties. But anyway, this other one, I have a line. I have a particular line that I need to share with you. It was the dumbest thing, okay? Everybody's getting down and getting dirty and having a good time. But this author, Meg Zume X, was just not. Like, they ended up... It's okay, so reverse harem, instead of a man with a lot of women, it's a woman with a lot of men, right? Right? Okay. I love it. I need to make a TBR on a bookshelf. I still have to build my bookshelves, Hans. I still have to build my bookshelves. About a pillow. Dude, that's so fucking funny. That is so fucking funny. I really am gonna have to rewatch this VOD later and make sure that I write these things down. Okay, here, let me see if I can say this as good as Hans can say it. Elizabeth, you churned that butter so well. How's that? Did I do it? Did I do a good job? Did I do a good job? I need to make a TBR. I need to extend my TBR, honestly. I need another list. That was great. Thanks, Biggs. Aha! Hans has discovered my praise kink. I mean, what? Anyway, so so a couple weeks ago, a friend asked a group chat that we have of like 7 or 8 ladies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us ladies, where she was like, hey, I need some of your favorite spicy book lines to send to Dr. Waffle to record for some walk-on ideas. Cass right now? How you doing? So she's like looking at redoing some of our walk-ons in her stream, and we were like, oh my god, that's fun request, but like how spicy. Okay. And someone was like, I don't know if I have a particular line, but the sit on my face is a good one, right? And my friend was like, it does still have to be TOS friendly, but just a casual sit on my face, you know? He's like, I don't know how this one is, but his tongue swept along her in an introductory, hi, nice to fuck you, flit. And that's fucking hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Somebody else, I was like, does it count if it's like just a really bad line? I'm reading this series that is terrible, but like some of the lines they're saying, I'm snoozing ads. Some of the lines they say are just absolutely hilarious. Like she's trying to sound sexy and trying to use dirty talk, and it's going so badly. It's going so badly. Like they end up like dumbing down. These are immortals who are thousands of years old. They're incredibly intelligent. They're battle worn. They are well read, and they get devolved into mate wants us. Mate is angry. We need to protect her. Like, since when did you become caveman, you know? And it's so bad. It's so bad. So this is the one that I gave her, and she made TOS friendly. But listen to this. Listen to this. Okay, I will try to make it sound as sexy as possible. Oh god, I cannot get. I had to go through 5 because I was at this point like, I've already read enough of this. I have to just keep going, or I'm going to cringe even harder thinking about it because I didn't read it until the very end. You know. So this is at one point where like she's got 4 mates. She's got 4 prophesied soulmates bound to her, and like with their godly vision, they kind of like imagine this bond as a string between all of them, you know? I feel stupid just saying this, but I've read actual smut, so I should be able to read this. I don't know why I can't stop smiling. This is freaking hilarious, okay? I said there needs to be a couple adjustments to make it Twitch friendly, but here's the line. I pain in your eyes. You're not wrong. I can't even start without laughing because it's just so bad. I'm gonna try. Okay, I need to pop my neck. There. Okay, that's a little better. All right. He says, your little pussy is so tight and hot, Race groaned. It's already milking me. Oh, fuck. Yes, clutch me. Drive me mad. You squeeze my cock so hard, baby. My merciless little mate. My horny female. Look how I fuck you. Watch how I fuck your tight little pussy. Baby, I'll fuck you to eternity. What is that? That's not dirty talk. See, exactly, Biggs. I read that and I went, it was so bad. Isn't that awful? And I with this. And the talk just kept getting worse. And you know what pissed me off? Is that the author, who is actually a woman, wrote no scenes about her getting eaten out. Not a single one. Nothing about her clit getting played with. Nothing about getting fingered. Nothing about getting sucked on. Nothing. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Zilch. There was almost no oral foreplay in the entire fucking series. And I was like, this is a full disservice to both parties, but mostly the women you're expecting to sucker into reading this. It was like, what the fuck is this? I just turned into one of those peen fidgeting things. Aww. Did you become springy, Hans? But see what I mean? Like, Biggs is like, I'm leaving. Spray with the water bottle. No, bad. And it really, really was. It was so bad. It was so bad. And she ended up, there it is. Here it is. She changed it to this to make it more TOS friendly, but it sounds more like reverse springy. Sahara is calling. For real. Dry as the Saracen desert. Your outie became an innie. Beautiful. Biggs, that's fucking brilliant. This is how she adjusted it. And so I think this may become a walk-on for me. If it becomes one, I will let you know. I will let you know. She changed it to this, and it sounds so much better. Sounds so much better. It is, you feel so close. So warm. Race groaned. You're already pulling me in. Yes, don't stop. Hold on to me. Drive me mad. You grip me like you mean it, baby. My merciless little mate. My dangerous little temptation. Look at the way I take control of you. Watch what you do to me. Baby, I could lose myself in you forever. Like, that's so much better, right? So much better. And of course, it's TOS friendly. So it's just like, that's a lot better, right? Like, I want to finish my cereal now. I feel nasty. No. So much better. So much better. And I was like, she's like, I made Cass's TOS friendly. But then she asked, what book is this from? I was like, it's from this one, and it's absolutely horrible. Would not recommend. 0 out of 10. I just need to finish the series. She said, Dr. Waffle wanted to do the lines live, and I was like, Some people were asking where this is from. So in a fucking live stream, he was recording these. in a live stream, he was recording these, and people were like, where is this from? Where is this from? It devolved from there. That was actually like in the middle of the series, and it just kept getting worse. It was so bad. It was so fucking bad. So Hades and Persephone, definitely many leagues better. Many leagues better. But that series, man, I feel like I should get that time back just by default. Yes, live. Yeah. Okay, we have ads. But yeah, it was just, that was something, man. That was, so yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. And I still have so many books in my TBR pile that I haven't touched. I bought them, haven't read them. And I bought them like over almost 2 years ago now. I bought them almost 2 years ago now. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and still have not read them. Still have not read them. So I do need do need to actually get on that. I do need to actually get into reading reading my actual books that I own, but I still want more books. If it's anything, Cass, that's kind of my whole job. I buy books and don't read most of them. I like reading though. But see, I need to mix the smut up with, you know, like I want to reread the Iliad. It's right there. It's so pretty. I can see it. It's beautiful. And it's a new translation by a woman. So she puts some slightly stronger focus on the female characters or offers some additional perspective, which I really want to read about, you know? I mean, I still have the ones that were from like early 1900s by Samuel Butler that were considered like the premium teachable translations of the Iliad, the Odyssey. And I have those, but this one was done in like 2023 by a woman named Emily Wilson. And I mean, she's just as much an expert as Samuel Butler was, but because she's looking at it through more of a feminism lens, she's kind of noticing a couple of adjustments that Samuel Butler did not. Yeah, you remember hearing, yeah, dude. So I have her translations and I want to be able to read them. I have a fucking book about cows, you guys, okay? Cows. This sounds like the dumbest possible shit, but I promise, okay? This book about cows is actually it's definitely a nonfiction book, but it's from a professor that I actually wanted to work with at a university in PhD studies. He wrote this book about the significance of cows and sacrifices and their impact on religion and the economy in ancient Greece. So they have like significant economic factor because Greek soil is very rocky and sandy, so it doesn't grow like grazy stuff. So if you had a cow and managed to keep it alive, that meant you had some money, right? So it's a symbol of wealth and standing and economic prosperity, especially if you had more than one. And if you take a look at books like the Odyssey, where Odysseus takes 9 bulls, male cows, and you know you need one male cow and like all the female cows in order to make all the more female cows, right? So a bull is incredibly valuable. And they'd sacrifice 9 of them along the beach in order to guarantee safe passage. Like, that's a big fucking ask of the gods, right? So the significance in choosing that particular cow, like that particular beast, like a cow is very difficult to keep alive, but if you can afford to sacrifice them because you've got more, then bitch, you load it. But also like showing the impact of that, like even if you don't have a ton of money, but you have a cow and you're going to sacrifice it, it shows how strongly you're aiming for whatever you're asking for, right? So learning about those sorts of things I find fascinating. So I want to be able to read that book. Actually, I really wish I could find this book. I bought it I purchased in like a reserve spot because it was out of print for a new session of printing. It's about someone who's arguably the first feminine hero in ancient Greek literature, Iphigenia in Taurus. It's a story about the daughter, Agamemnon's daughter. He was willing to sacrifice her to the gods for safe passage back to Greece after they lost the Trojan War. She prayed to Artemis, one of the virgin goddesses, to be saved at the last minute. So that story follows the supposition that she got traded for a deer at the last minute for the sacrifice. Because what kind of dad is going to say like, oh, so if I get home safely and quickly, I've got to kill my daughter? Okay, because what the fuck, right? So she ends up getting whisked away and becomes a high priestess for this cult that worships Artemis on this remote island away from where they were. Except that cult also practices human sacrifice to their goddess, Artemis, and Iphigenia doesn't necessarily feel comfortable with that, especially since, you know, she got saved from that by Artemis. So it's a whole thing. And then her brother, who is now, you know, the Prince of Nothing because Troy fell, wanted to go, was like leaving the area and trying to find a new homeland, right? Because they can't go to Greece because they just lost, but they didn't want to be enslaved or killed. And he and his buddy wound up at the, like, I don't know if like they got marooned on the island, but they came across this island and then got captured by the local tribesmen who brought them to the cult, because they really go for anybody who's dumb enough to walk on the island as if they own the place. Because, you know, Artemis was all about dark feminism, right? Amazons and all that jazz. So what she ends up doing is testing him to make sure that it's really him, because he doesn't recognize her as his sister. And then they make a plan to escape. But it's her plan and she carries it through, so she's the actual hero of the story. And nowhere in Greek mythology or Greek literature are you going to find a woman important enough to be mentioned and have a role in a story unless she's the villain. And Iphigenia is not the villain. So that's a really cool story I want to read. And then I have other smut series that I want to break it up into and see if they're worth the money that I paid for the books. I've got all the Sarah J. Maas. Well, no, I've got the Akatar series. I don't know if I have other things. If I like that series, then I'll probably buy the rest of them. But I've got Anna Huang. I've got two of her series, and they're like 5 or 6 books. So when you put them all together and they're in paperback, they're like, they take up this much of the shelf. And oh, I have Lights Out. Somebody gifted me the story, the book, and I need to read that. And then, you know, split it up with going back into The Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan or something. And then Crashly rebound a Pride and Prejudice book for me, which is fucking gorgeous. So I need to reread that again and again, because it's one of my favorite stories, because Jane Austen is fucking phenomenal with the dry British wit. Absolutely wonderful. So yeah, like I want to mix the smut up with other things, and then of course comfort reads and stuff like that. But I have to be responsible and get a job so that I can pay rent. I hear great things about Dungeon Crawler Carl. Been thinking about looking into that series. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Like, is that a euphemism? Comfort reads. Okay, listen. That only happens when I'm trying to read when I'm really, really high, which I have done. And it was worth it. 12 out of 10 would recommend. And I will do it if I'll fucking do it again. I'll fucking do it again. I'll fucking do it again. Yeah, I will. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Okay, I'm just updating my lyrics. That's my buddy Hydra. I will say hi to him in a little bit. He's doing his waves to everybody. And it's his birthday! Shit. I'm learning a lot about Cass tonight. What? That I have some... I almost don't care what the book's about as long as it's a fucking book. Because, yeah. Oh, I even have a book called The London Seance Society, which is like a little mystery or something. I want to read that. And then I'm just kind of taking a look to see what I can see there. I kind of want to reread Frankenstein. I've got the full works of William Shakespeare over there. And I've got some favorites. Oh, and I have Hooked, which is a smut version of the Peter Pan story. Like, that ought to be interesting. Everybody's old enough to consent, of course. We're not talking about child porn or anything like that. I have that too. Took Shakespeare class in college. I took several. I'm a literature major, Shundwall. I got my degree in 2024, in December of 2024. And I'm a substitute teacher up here in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. I was living in California until last July, and then we moved up here. And yes, it was on purpose. And yes, I'm not sorry. And yes, I know that it means all the snow, and I'm okay with it. My major was ceramics. I only took one. I took several just because I couldn't get enough of it. And then I took another Renaissance literature one where we avoided Shakespeare and did everything else that was during that time period, because most people do kind of ignore it. I've studied Hamlet so many times. I just don't even know what to do with it anymore. But it is pretty funny. And I love that Tumblr post about Hamlet, where it's like, only Shakespeare. Took an African-American literature class too. That one was fun. I also did the same. And it was not only like beautiful stories, powerful imagery, but so dark. They're just so hard to get through. Like Beloved and Kindred and Zone 1, which is like future apocalyptic, but it's still like, damn. Several. I've read several. And James Baldwin, that's a good one. We, did the basics with like Frederick Douglass and the abolitionists and their writing and stuff. I think we did do some James Baldwin. Trying to recall one of the ones that and then we also but we did a lot of poetry too. And I just actually got Sonny's Blues. I read Sonny's Blues most recently, which is, of course, a short story by James Baldwin, not one of his longer ones, but that one was a good one. I have a book of poetry called Citizen, which is a lot more modern stuff. But it's just not my favorite. Poetry I have a really hard time getting into it, but I love Langston Hughes' poetry, and the subsequent creation of the play A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry that is inspired by one of Langston's Harlem poem. And those are just great. And since it's Black History Month this month, one of the jobs I had the first week of February was at a middle school, and I was subbing for an English teacher, and she was getting them started in a book called Brown Girl Dreaming. And it's a book of free verse poetry that is autobiographical. Jacqueline Woodson was the poet's name. And even just the first few pages where she's talking about being born, she was born in Ohio, but her family can trace their lineage, or they claim to be able to trace their lineage back to Thomas Jefferson and beyond. Because after Thomas Jefferson, they actually gained enough favor to be able to get educations when it was still incredibly difficult for Black people to be taught anything. And they kept records, both orally and written in like family Bibles that were passed down to generations. And it's a fascinating read, but that poetry is I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. That poetry was so powerful in a free verse that I was just amazed that I was getting that kind of reaction. And I loved it.
No.
Okay, I drink more drinks.
We're like 60% water and 40% human, so it's only logical to drink water. Drink more water. Just because you're not thirsty doesn't mean that you don't need it. Gotta drink water. Drink more water. If you sweat it out, you need more electrolytes. Drink water. Drink more water right now. You got this.
Thank you so much for the hydrate. So yeah, I really like books, you guys. When I say I really like books, I don't just love smut. Smut is fun. And honestly, it reminds me that there is a reason I'm not dating, because there is a bar. And if you can at least match the bar sexually in the books and you can do better than my friends treat me on the romantic intimacy level, then you can date me. Like, I date my friends. I treat them in a way that they understand that the bar for a romantic partner has to be higher. And they do the same thing for me. And this keeps sliding back, and it makes me feel like I'm choking, and it's driving me nuts. It's driving me a little bit nuts. A little bit. So I do also really enjoy smut books. Like I said, I'm liking the Hades and Persephone saga. And I have several, like I got the For Whom the Bell Tolls, Belle. And I read, some of you know, I did actually read a snippet for like 10 minutes or something, or like part of a chapter, a sex scene in general from that book. And so I'm looking forward to reading the whole book. But hi, Amber, how are you? It's so good to see you. How you doing? So yeah, I do want to read that one, but I do have to be able to unpack and put my book, all of the rest of my books up. I just got, we found all of my old smut books. Old, when I say old, I mean like from the 90s, before they got really intense. So these are just one-on-one. There's no reverse harems or anything like that. Not the same way of enemies to lovers or, dark romance or morally gray characters. There's not as much of that in those old books. Like Anita Blake Before She Gathered a Harem. Really, the Regency romances that are a little bit dirtier than the Victorian era. So, they're like, oh, look at the way the Victorians got it on. They were just a little bit sexier than they made themselves out to be because they're also prim and proper in public kind of thing, and currently reading the Bridgerton series. I have not read the Bridgerton series. I haven't even watched the show, but I don't watch a ton of stuff either. I'm doing very well. I'm so glad to hear that, Amber. I'm really glad to hear that. I'm glad you're doing well. Happy Friday, dear. I am going to very much be happy not being in teacher mode this weekend. Absolutely going to be happy not being in teacher mode this weekend. I got some new shirts that are really pretty, and some of them are not suitable to wear at school, but at least I can wear hoodies. And, I'm taking a look at the time. We have actually started to get closer to a time where I can raid, because I'm tired. The books are different from the show. Shonda Rhimes put her influence on it, as she would, which I appreciate it, but it really veers off from the books because of it. Like a hard veer, or all it's got, like a hard veer, like all it has in common anymore are the same characters and nothing's in the books, or it still kind of touches, but she embellishes a lot more with the other things that she thinks would be more interesting than the books. Because they did that with the True Blood series. The first season matched the first book, and then they went completely off the fucking rails for the rest. And that was at the time where there were only 8 books in the series. And honestly, the books were way better. Way better. They didn't even have the tiger shapeshifter in there that I could see. And they had her almost fucking the werewolves when they didn't get to that point. I don't remember ever seeing anything about the werepanthers either. Or her brother getting changed. So, they really didn't touch on enough stuff in there. And that was frustrating. The show has a lot of influence from the Queen, but the Queen isn't even in the books. Oh. That is kind of disappointing. True Blood series was pretty good. I think I went through, 4 seasons, maybe. Which season was the one where her light's been on the fritz lately and she's got just enough power to destroy this one strong fae, but it's going to leave her vulnerable and she won't be able to hear thoughts anymore and she won't be special or whatever. What season was that in? Was that 4? His name started with a W. Warlow? No, that's not right. I don't know, something like that. And then I didn't even finish that one. But the Bridgerton show, it's very diverse and inclusive. The books are not, because they're about the rich white people. Warlow, okay, yeah, it was. Okay. They're about the rich white people. Yeah, I mean, those season 5. Okay, so I have seen through at least season 5. I wasn't sure if it was 4 or 5 that I was like, well, I guess we're done, because I didn't have access to HBO anymore. And in fact, somewhere in one of those boxes that we haven't gone through from storage, I'm pretty sure I have a boxed set of True Blood through at least season 3, if not 4 or 5. Maybe it was I have all 5 boxed. Anyway, back when they did that. I love the books. The show was hit or miss, but I do rewatch it again. But yeah, like by itself, if you don't compare it to the books, great series. Then I read the series afterwards and was like, I was so excited after the first book. And then the second book was absolutely nothing like it. Third book, absolutely nothing. I was like, and then as I'm continuing through, I'm like, why did they change it so much? Because they had so much good material. Actually, I preferred the series finale to the book finale. See, I haven't seen, how many more seasons are there? Because I'm pretty sure I went through season 5, but I don't remember if I actually finished it. Finished that season, and I have not read the series since book 8 was the brand new book, and I know that she added 5 more books, so there's actually 13 books in the series, so I need to get those last 5 and read them. So I haven't read them. The last part of book 8 was that she confirmed that her cousin, who was a vampire and a queen's favorite and then died, found out she had a child who has the telepathy thing that she does, and they were able to talk face to face, and she told the dad, you're gonna want to stay in contact with me to help him out, because she wanted to protect the boy from having to deal with not being able to put up walls to be able to concentrate and stuff like that. That was the end of book 8. And then she just walked away. And so that was the last one I read. So it's been a few years. And then I unfortunately didn't keep up with that Cassandra. Like, I got excited because the Sookie Stackhouse series was written by a Cassandra something or other. And there's another Cassandra Clare who does fantasy stuff. So other fantasy stuff. So like I want to read them all. Charlene Harris, thank you. Okay, and Cassandra Clare was the Mortal Instruments and the Shadowhunters and Magnus and all the different series. The Dark Artifices, which I just got, and the Princess one, the Clockwork Angel, and stuff like that. Charlene Harris, thank you. And I've got several. I've got Harper, the series about Harper, where she can sense how people died after she got hit by lightning, by Charlene Harris. I've got that series. I've got the Aurora Tea Garden series, which I also think is really cute. But I think the last one in that one did kind of rush things a little bit too much in a way that just didn't feel right. But that's okay. There's 13, and then there's a collection of short stories. I didn't know that. Best decision the show made, though, was keeping Lafayette alive. Yeah, I didn't like that Lafayette died in the book. That made me sad. So I am glad that they actually did that one. So yeah, like I have varied interests. I have varied interests in books. I like a lot of different books. But, so I've got like a lot of smut and a lot of like young adult fiction, and I got fantasy, and I got murder mysteries, and I've got Victorian era, the British Romantic era books, and like all kinds of stuff. And I love all of them. I love all of them. They're so good. I get so excited. A good story is a good story. So I don't have a particular niche where I'm like, this is the only thing I'll read because this is the only thing that interests me. I've got really varied interests across book genres. But I don't fault anybody for being like, I could not read that. Okay, don't. But you found something you do like to read? Awesome. Read it. I feel like everybody has something like that. And then there are people who say, well, I like audiobooks. I was like, that's okay. That's still, I mean, so you're not actually reading the words on the page. You're listening to someone read the pages. I could still consider that close enough to reading. You're enjoying books. You're enjoying books. Maybe it's a slightly different method, but you're still enjoying them. Do more. Do it. Do all of it. It's great. I love it. I drift more towards fantasy, paranormal, romance stuff, but I will read almost anything. Yeah, and I do like fantasy novels with magic and different creatures, and paranormal's interesting too. If I actually have that book, I would love to actually show it to you, because I have an old book from the 90s that is an actual romance novel where she's seduced by a ghost.
There's no need to shout. I'm not shouting.
Peekaboo, Jazzy, hi.
I'm shouting. I'm shouting. I'm shouting.
Jazzy, thank you so much for the resub. 3 months. Thank you. I appreciate that. How are you doing? Yeah, he's an old Scottish ghost, because, you know, Scotland people have only died in the 1700s, and they've haunted forever since. And nobody else has died and become a ghost, right? But, like, this woman is, like, her best friend convinces her to come out to Scotland to kind of be a caretaker for this old castle, in order to get away, because she's just had a series of shit luck happen. Like, her boyfriend broke up with her and she lost her job and blah 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 blah. She's down on her luck. Hi, I just got home from work. I'm so glad you're home. Although, oof, it's so late. Pumpkin, are you okay? Have you started the new job? Is this the new job that you just got home from? Because I know that you got a new job. I saw that you had said that. Do tell me. So, but, when she meets this guy, so she agrees. She's like, yeah, I'll be a caretaker. So she gets paid for it. She doesn't have to do anything. She doesn't have to worry about paying any bills or anything like that, because she's getting paid to watch it. You know, like to make sure vandals don't take over and everything. Oh, it's on Monday morning. My orientation for the new job is Monday morning. Tell me you at least have the weekend off, Jazz. Tell me you gave yourself even just a couple of days. And to train someone to DQ today? Why do you have to do it? You're leaving. I mean, that's sort of like answering my own question, but you know what I mean. Tell me that today was your last day. You deserve at least a couple days before you start a new job. Amanda said I did really good with another new employee. Okay. That's fair, but please tell me that you're not working all the way up until Sunday and then starting work on Monday. Please tell me that you have a couple days off to do nothing and sleep and relax and get a chance to be excited for your new job. Today was my last day. Good. Yes, good. You deserve a weekend. I'm so glad for that. She just responded to my text. Fuck yes, dude. Fuck yes. That makes me very happy for you. And so she meets him, but he's corporeal, and she doesn't, and like she's been dealing with like all these really nasty headaches. She's never gone to the doctor for, and so she goes out to Scotland ready to stay there for like the summer, I guess. And then she meets this guy who looks fresh out of one of her old romance novels or whatever. And he sleeps with her. And eventually by the time he gets to sleep with her, then he disappears. He ghosts her for a couple of days. And then he shows back up and he's like, hey, darling. She's like, where the fuck have you been? And he's like, I've been gathering up my strength. And he's real cagey about it. And it doesn't really make sense to anybody because the reader also does not know, like she does not know that he's actually dead and has the ability to go corporeal for a while, but then only for a while. And if he spends too much of his energy, he goes all plasma-like and cannot reform into something corporeal. He's just a spirit until, he regenerates like a rechargeable battery. My boss just said she's going to miss me. Well, you were a good employee, but you found something better. that pays so much better, and I'm so freaking happy for you about that. So freaking happy for you about that. And also, I mean, it's pretty nice to be able to leave on good terms like that. That is cool. That is very cool. You make sure you save that. Just don't respond if she asks to take you back. And then in the book, you know, she's still kind of like back and forth, like, does she really like him, or was he just a fling? And she's been getting these nasty headaches, but they've been getting worse and worse as time goes on, until one day she's got so much pain that she cannot even figure out how to function. Like, she can't move, like the kind of pain that makes your legs give out, right? And so while he's in spirit form, he like fucks around with her so that she gets some pleasure and gets off a bit while she's literally dying. So she finds out after she wakes back up that she died and is now a spirit, and the friend that convinced her to come out is also dead. And then she gets to be with her ghost lover who didn't mean to ghost her, but now they don't have to worry about taking time apart, and they both haunt the castle together for the rest of their unlife. Isn't that the corniest sounding premise of a book ever? But this was written in like the 90s, and it is smutty. It is one of those romance novels that does get graphic, but like nothing like what we're used to nowadays, but it's still pretty good stuff, you know? It's still well written, because that's when, you know, you had to go through an agent and you couldn't self-publish, and, you know, they go on book tours and stuff like that. So it was done a little bit better. Smut, you say? Yeah, Jazz, yeah. It's really funny. I have so many of the older books all in paperback that, I mean, I just need to go through them and see if I can find this one again. Because if so, I will happily show it off on stream. I will happily show it off on stream. It would be hilarious. Hilarious. I cannot wait. Okay, so we've talked about books. I talked about work earlier. It was great. Work is good. Did I come while you were ending? Yeah, I mean, we're really close to the 4-hour mark. I ended up just switching to just chatting, so I've just been like blah, 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 blah. But it is closing in on 11, and my son is sleeping, and if I'm loud enough, it does carry a bit more, and I want him to be able to get some sleep, because tomorrow is his Friday. So he's got to work tomorrow, and he works in the morning. So I do want to make sure he gets enough sleep, so I can't go too late tonight. Tomorrow, on the other hand, we may look at trying to come in. I want to be working consistently with a 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, because I am on Central Time. So 7 p.m. start time, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So that is definitely when I'm going to start tomorrow. But depending on how the day goes, I may want to start a little bit earlier and then chit chat and see if we can actually do some Resident Evil 4. Like, if I'm actually going to play the game, you know what I mean? I don't mind people self-publishing, but the seemingly no editing drives me insane. Oh my gosh, Shund, you are so right. Like, I'm tempted to take so many of these books and write some shit myself. I will write shit myself. I could. I've actually, somewhere, I've got a scene. It's a long scene. It's a long scene. So I guess I wouldn't call it a novella, maybe a short story. That's pretty hot and heavy. And it does involve some of the less conventional aspects of BDSM. And it's not anything like really gory or anything. It's just we'll call it ethical non-monogamy and doll play. We'll call it that. Which seems to be quite effective. In fact, I should probably send it to Hans. I think he would get a kick out of that. Actually, I think he would actually get a kick out of that. So I mean, I could do like some regular good solid vanilla romantic spice. I could do some reverse harem spice. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll work on that this summer and then start self-publishing. Like even just run a basic spell check. Shund, you are so right. The very first time I read a book that was considered self-published through Amazon, I was so ridiculously disappointed in everything it had to offer in all fronts, just like that. Structure, story, plot, the way people spoke, all of it was just, oh my God. You know, I was like, God damn. So I am a little tempted, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyone want to play Fortnite tomorrow? Fortnite will cause my blood pressure medication to fail, but I would watch you play. I would watch you play. So tomorrow will be either we'll probably be Resident Evil 4. If I have a wild hair at my nose, I will probably start earlier than 7 p.m. so that we have a little extra time together, but I will definitely be starting by 7. And Sunday will be the same. Sunday will start at 7. Actually, we might try to go, no, we can start at 7 because I can go to bed by 11:30 and still get enough sleep for Monday morning. It might hurt a little bit, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine because I don't have to be there until 8 o'clock, which means I can leave at 7:30 instead of having to be at a place by 7 a.m. So it'll be fine. We'll be fine. Let's see. I have several friends who are streaming Reanimal. I have a friend doing Quarantine Zone. I have a friend playing Fez. Since we're literally just chit-chatting, does it matter? Does it matter where we go? Do you guys have a specific, do you want to keep with scary stuff? Do you want to switch to something different? I have, I don't know who this is. Let's see, several friends. I've got a friend playing Gone Fishing. I've got a friend playing RV There Yet. I have a friend playing Peak. We can raid someone a little bit smaller, or we can raid a bestie. We've got some options. Is there anything specific you guys would like to see? Or you're just like, we're good. We're just vibing. Cause we got some good options. Anything for you? Okay. All right. I think we'll raid Hydra another night if we can. Hydra kind of has a hard time being able to say hello to raiders just because he has so many people in his chat on a regular basis. Ooh, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna raid this friend. She started just before I did, but she's streaming with a friend. So they may be trying to continue on with until they finish the game. They're playing Reanimal, that one that's Little Nightmares-esque, but you can play co-op with somebody. So if you have a subscription, this first message will work for you to copy paste. If you are a follower of the channel, then the second one with static emotes will work for you. Copy paste the message that works best for you because we're going to raid my friend the Jax Effect. If you are at all familiar with Morgan Screams or Thievius Fox, or Lufty, actually, she's a regular, consistent presence as either a moderator or a VIP in those channels. She's great, great human being, absolutely wonderful, incredibly lovely. The Jax F3 CT. Okay, there we go. Jax Effect. The Jax Effect. Yes, we're gonna raid her. Thanks for coming, you guys. I know it's been a hot minute since I've streamed. I had the demons in my head being really loud. I wasn't feeling so great about myself, and some things weren't going exactly the way I wanted to, and it really made me a lot harder on myself than I should have been. And I know that, but when I'm feeling that way, I like to turtle up and just try to get through it before I'm ready to be with people again. And so I appreciate you guys coming out. We're going to work on consistency, especially now and through March, especially. So I will be live again tomorrow. We may start a little bit earlier, but if not, 7 p.m. will be the time. We'll actually play Resident Evil this time, since we got all the chatting out of the way this time. Hopefully. Pretty sure it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be good. So we're gonna go raid Jax. She's playing with Big Rick Energy TV, another good friend of all the same people, and Rad Does Games. I love them all. They're fantastic people. So let's go show some love, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, I love you. Bye.